That's why he
Hello,
likes the
all,
curse.
and welcome. This is Dice of Ages, presenting CrestVahllen, the Argent Flame. I'm your not-so-humble Dungeon Master, TJ, and welcome back. We were just talking about soap, subsidies, and what age is too old to be trick-or-treating.
My age.
I think our last campaign that we did the other day said it's if you dress up with a friend. If you dress up with a friend and you go around with like a wagon that has like a door on it and you have like a bag of candy, you can like walk around and be like the mobile door that kids can knock on and be like trick or treat and give them candy and just be like moving around the neighborhood.
So TJ wants to keep trick-or-treating because he wants the candy. Because he's a little sugar problem.
So here's the deal. I could go buy the candy, and it's cheaper that way, but it's fun. It's fun to be like, trick-or-treat, look at my costume, give me candy. And if they don't give me candy, I'll throw a roll of toilet paper at you and run away. That's
You're trying to come up with a more...
That's the fun bit, right?
Like,
that's the part that makes you too old, right?
Come on.
A way that he could be involved without... actually like going door to door.
There is. It's called you stay at home and then they ring their doorbell and then they go trick or treat and
I know,
give them candy.
That's great. I know we do that too, but you know, it's fun though.
Now TJ's just trying to justify which of us will go trick or treating.
Right, but what's the reasoning behind it? Like, it's not really for the candy, is it though? For you, it doesn't.
I think
like
I think it's just a desire.
Noel.
Is it for the candy, Noel?
He wants to
He
be...
eats half the candy before we give it out.
To return to the inner child thing, the whole fun,
Gotcha.
frolicking around in the costumes and get to see other people's
He
costumes.
wants to be out
how he's still going even though you've revealed this truth.
in the trick-or-treating culture thing as it's going
it's
on.
fun.
Not sitting at home waiting for it to come.
It's
There
fun to be
goes
a
the
kid
guy
again.
taking all the candy from the kids right there.
Well, so that was our thing. You could set up like a mobile house, and
No,
you
I
could
like
still
that.
A tiny house
could
on
still
wheels.
It's cool.
You could still be out on the street walking
I've
around,
actually seen
seeing
pictures
everything.
of like that where people have done that where they've gone out with just a door up to the houses and ring the doorbell and then put the door in front.
And
No,
then
not even
people
that.
have to knock
You'd
on the
be-
door and be like, and then I've seen that like teenagers are like late teens or earlier.
Some
like 20
early 20s.
will walk up with a door, knock on the door, and there'll be a door there, and people will be like, and we'll knock on the door, and the door will go open and go like, oh hey, I love your costume, and then they give you,
Yeah, exactly.
they give you candy. I think it's a great joke. I love that. I would do that. But here's the other thing. Noelle and I are really, really big on costumes. We go really, really hard. We put a lot of money and time and energy into making our costumes. So we want to show off our costumes to as many people as possible. Right. And you
I've
can
been,
only
with,
show
I've
it
been to
off
the Ren Fair with you, yes.
to kids that come to your door that don't always have the full background and context to
He wants to
appreciate
show
the
off to
costume.
the adults. That's what he's saying.
I want to show it off
Just
to the
say
adults,
you want
and
to
there's
eat all
more
the sugar
people
daddies
out.
from the kids.
Not everybody comes to your house too. You get to be like, and it's cool walking around like, oh shit, that's Daft Punk, and get to be like a little celebrity every once in a while. You get to be a little mini rock star. It's kind of fun.
I got you. Let's move on with it. Hey.
And then you
Put a
wear
little
like the full
effort
thing so
into it
nobody
and
knows
show
who
up
you
at my
are.
house with a pillowcase and you can be in your 60s and I'll give you fucking candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's
I think there's a bell curve.
So like if you're 80 and you're going around, I'm gonna give you that.
I'm absolutely giving you candy. I'm absolutely. If you're 80 and be like, oh, I dressed up as a young punk from the 90s. I mean, like, dude,
said from
here
the
you
90s.
go.
Hold up.
Absolutely.
I've had 30-year-olds show up just barely in a costume trick-or-treating by themselves, no kids. I gave them candy. I didn't give a crap.
Yeah.
However, I will say this. Living in Colorado, every year you hear that about, oh, make sure nobody's giving out weed candy. Nobody's giving out weed candy to any kid.
It's too expensive. I'm not fucking
yeah,
giving that out for
no.
free.
Who would do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would I do that?
Right, who would
That's
do
for
that?
me.
Right,
Get the
Well,
hell
that's
out
the
of
same
here.
as the razor blades and apples and stuff.
There's
where
always been a
not
scare
single recorded
tactic
case.
candy.
There's
There's
always
There are some sickos out there.
right, but there's always that, just over the top.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's always better to
And
be
everything
safe
we
than
do.
sorry.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You should always check your kids' candy.
Absolutely.
But-
That's how you pick out the best stuff and keep it from them.
Yeah.
Hence the weed candy. You pick out
Well,
the
you
best
do the
stuff.
candy test. You can do the candy test. If there's any weed candy or razor
Well, no,
blades
no,
in there,
that's-
you take them out, and then you take
right,
like
and
a
leave
couple
them all the
stickers.
little
you
sweet
do.
and sours, all the little nasty stuff, sweet
Yeah.
and
So
sours.
if you're going to give out the weed candies, what you do is you give the kids the regular candies, and then to the parents, you hand them the weed candy.
I like when we have kids, I would like leaving some of those shitty like candy that those strawberry shit like things wrapped up like
That look like a
plastic.
strawberry? Those
Yeah, look like
awesomeness things?
Yeah,
Yes, I know know those.
All grandmas have them, but you can't buy them anywhere. I don't know where they find them.
where do
Like,
they
I
come
think you get them once you become a member of AARP or some shit. Like, like.
I was just watching somebody do a review of those candies. They were number 3 on the list.
Oh my god.
Well, because
So-
the actual goo
so
inside them is really
It's
strawberry and
important
everything
to
like
give them
that.
perspective and to give them understand that the world is not always a forgiving and one of the place. Like leave some of that shitty candy in there. Let them learn that you got
Leave
like,
all the candy corns.
I like candy corn. Am I the only one that likes candy corn?
No.
Hey, I was that kid that like
good.
everybody hated dark chocolate, so I made out like a bandit because I would just trade off all the candies I don't like for like. So I would trade like 1 box of Whoppers because I didn't like Whoppers for like 6 dark chocolate candy bars.
See now
That's an interesting.
you had people
palate
that
to be
would want
young.
that would
Yeah.
let you
That's
trade
interesting
with.
palate to be
My
that
sisters
young.
would be like, "Nah, this is my candy. I'm not trading you anything."
Oh,
or
see,
they would
this
give me
was-
like bad trades.
This was
I'm
at
like,
school. Remember, I only child.
you traded
man.
candy at school?
Fuck yeah.
Aren't we
you go
live streaming
trick-or-treating
still?
around the school. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the tail end of the
No, I was always
generation
in
where
chorus and band,
my
so
dad
we
was
just went
annoyed
around
with me.
and
He could
sang
hand me $1 and tell me to walk down
like
to
spooky
the
songs.
drugstore
Spooky songs.
and buy my own
Course and
candy.
band when you were in
buy
elementary
candy.
And
school.
that would keep me, and
Okay,
I would be
explains
out
a
of his
lot of
hair for
things.
like good 2
Wait,
hours.
you guys didn't
There was
have
like
chorus
candy
and band in elementary
cigarettes
school?
and
No.
You didn't
Big
have
chew
those
bubble
programs in
gum
your
and-
school?
Oh my god, candy cigarettes.
Like
So when you're
chorus and
saying
band,
Big
like
League
music,
Chew
music
for
when you're
elementary-
saying he doesn't
like
know where those
elementary- yes, there
strawberry
was a-
candies come
yes,
from,
there was an
they
elementary
come
school.
from the old
There was
school.
elementary
Oh,
school.
too many people talking.
You know what? That is true.
You're just not
Anyway,
looking in the right places.
We're going down the
The
rabbit hole.
Werthers
again,
and,
guys.
Hold on. Too many people talking at the same time.
Yep.
We're also going down the rabbit hole again.
Yeah. But like, you didn't have like music programs in elementary school?
We did, but chorus and band
Yeah.
weren't separate things that they pulled people out of class
Oh,
to do.
well, like did you
I
play
played
the
the
instrument
saxophone.
or you sang?
No.
Like, there was-
You wanna know?
I like
No,
the
just-
saxophone.
My elementary
It's
had
just
a
class.
music class.
Yes, and
Just a
I
class.
went to it
Like,
with everybody in my class.
first grade
That was the end of
onwards.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
but there was also electives where if you wanted to, you could be part
Yeah.
of the
Once you
band.
got
Yeah.
older-
In middle
Of course.
school and
Right.
like in
But
middle
you
school, high
had to go to
school,
music
yeah.
class. When I was growing up, you had to go to music class.
Yeah, of course.
It's part of it.
Well, and
It
played
should
the
be
recorder.
required.
And
Yeah.
TJ, the courses you're talking
Culture
about
should be
were
required.
available when we were like in middle school and high school,
understand.
not elementary school.
Speaking of which, R.I.P. Coolio.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
isn't
R.I.P.
that crazy?
Coolio.
Yeah.
Gangsta
Same.
Paradise came out when I was in college.
He was here just like a few weeks
Came
ago
out
at a
when I was in
concert, too,
elementary
'cause I had
school.
Yeah, what you trying to do to me, Adam Street?
My elementary school music teacher played us that song.
That's
Oh,
crazy
I'm
because
sorry,
that came
I
out
should've
when
put
I was
all
in
those stuffs
college.
away.
You're fine.
I'll move it. Some point.
That's nuts. I was in college when that came out.
Because then she played us
That's-
Weird Al's Amish Paradise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When I was in elementary and middle school, like when the kids would go around and trick or treat, we would be singing like we would go around as like a group and sing like double toil and trouble or stuff like
I mean, that's you're not that young.
what are you talking about?
You see us.
I was born in 1990. So like
Yeah.
yeah no
90?
but that was I don't mean that song because that was a Harry
Yeah,
Potter
that
song
was-
but we
yeah.
would sing like you
That's
know
what I was thinking.
I was in high school in 1990.
we would sing songs.
We did the math one time, and we told you all what our ages were, and you were like, "God damn, you young."
We would sing songs like The Ghost of John. Have you seen the Ghost of John? Long white bones with the skin all gone. Ooh.
I mean, maybe a class.
We didn't
would
do that
that,
kind
but
of
not
stuff,
like
DJ.
specific
With no
people
skin
in
on.
chorus.
Like- No, we did that shit. And like that, we would have like the one guy who was like decent at guitar. Bling 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 bling.
I swear he's mixing like middle school. and
No,
elementary
we would
school
did that in
together.
elementary school.
Oh, no,
I mean,
I
I do
believe
think
him.
it's possible, but
I believe him.
And we
I mean,
would
that's
play
stuff
some
I was-
like basic band songs. We'd
Like, I
have
was in
like
high
we'd have like
school, we
a
were
quintet
doing
with
that.
like a trombone and
this
like.
is definitely the difference between New York and where the rest of us.
No,
came
this wasn't
from.
in New York. This was in Pennsylvania.
So East Coast.
East Coast.
East Coast
right.
and where the rest of us grew up.
Speaking of, I'm going to PA here
Oh, nice.
pretty
Yeah.
soon.
Nice.
I got a buddy who's in shipping. I'm gonna go out there and visit him and talk business with him. But he's my best friend though. So
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
never been there. So
Never been
if
to
you know
Philly?
some- Never. So
Philly's
if you
pretty
know some
cool.
spots.
Yeah.
You hit
Yeah,
up the
we
Franklin
can-
Institute if you can. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Hit
can
up the Franklin
send you some
Institute. Sure. I mean,
recommendations
we're
for
big
sure.
museum buffs, so try to hit that up. What else is a good spot out there that we like?
Oh, there's
All the historical stuff's
Yeah.
pretty
all
fun
historical
just to
stuff, yeah.
And some
walk
food.
around. Yeah, food. We
Some
got
good
Food places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some really good food places.
Yeah.
Noelle and I will give you a list.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we should get into it. Anyway, so yeah, let's go around the table after we're talking about shit. Go ahead.
I'm Adam. I play Zemdak Flint Sweeper, the gnome artificer, who is now currently going by a different name because I might be wanted in this area, which is something we never checked on. But better safe than sorry.
I am Demetrius. Oh, hey, I was just kind of waiting for the.
I don't have a witty one-liner this week.
I am Demetrius. I am the Paladin Dragonborn, and I don't know.
Do you have a number for us today?
Oh, yes, I do have a number, 301.
Yeah, congrats.
and,
Yo, you were right there.
Yep, and yeah, that's. I'll just give you my number today.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I play Cole, our human bard. And man, this cloak is dirty. I really need to wash it. Just get it right in the bath with me there.
Oh, right, because you can't take it off. So, you know how long I've been holding on to the curse that's on this cloak? Like right under here, right on my DM screen. And I've been like waiting for the moment where it triggers. And then it happened, and it was at the end of the session, I was so tired and I forgot. And I was like, shit, okay, we got to retcon because it's really important that it happened.
And I mean, we kind of talked about it earlier, and I'm like, well, we've never really been in that position before. And you go, not that you know of. And I was like, well, yeah, because I always heal from a fucking distance. I'm never, like, on top of anybody.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm not a cleric. I don't use
that's another thing. I'm like... I can't exactly remember what are the requirements in at least the rules is written for you to be able to understand. I think it's like if you identify an item you don't know it's cursed.
No. Yeah.
But once it triggers the curse, then I think you have to do like an Arcana check on it or something. I don't think that spell identify still doesn't reveal it. I think it's something else. Adam, if you know some more than I do, I just can't quite remember.
Doesn't Legend Lore give you?
Legend Lore would totally do it, but that's a very high level spell.
Yeah, that's
Legend
why I
Lore
would
would
do it.
absolutely do it. Yeah.
These are the scores of these games.
Cool.
That's what I was shaking my head about.
Ken will
earlier.
be here in a moment. Theo will be
Steelers
leaving the
were
Argent
killing the
plan
Jets. They
as
let them score
today.
14 in the fourth.
We beat them very well.
I'm Noelle.
Yeah,
Today I'm
sorry.
playing Trishani Ankmut, and she's the Kenrin blade dancing wizard. And last time I'm just snooping and spell scoping, popping out of my hole, just shooting spells, that kind of thing. So.
I'm Cody, and I play our bugbear warlock, Log Jammin'. Remember, kids, it's not the size of your coal that matters. It's how you use them. Unless you're using them as a meat shield. Then it's kind of important, but size doesn't matter.
And the meat really got me on that one.
The meat shield got
shield.
me.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I always there's a point at which I feel like, should I laugh at this? Like, should I feel? I feel so retrospective after your intros. I'm either, or don't say that. Don't laugh. So, okay, all right, good job, Log.
By the
myself every week
DMG,
ago.
you shouldn't figure out an item's cursed until the curse hits.
Procs until the curse procs, right? So it's cursed. I would say the way I'd run it is that I don't because specifically identified does not reveal curse. Whether or not the curse has been revealed or not, I would say you'd have to like roll an Arcana check, and if you roll high enough, you'd get a better idea, sort of like in like the gist of it, but you wouldn't get like the exact wording of it. Like try to get an idea of what it is. The spell Legend Lore would give you would give you exactly what the curse would sound like, and it would give you like what circumstance and what historical context caused the curse to be put on.
It might be in that book. I still need to figure out what's in it too.
Maybe.
Just
Cool.
Just saying.
So, yeah, I'm slacking on a couple of things like that, but I have a bunch of ideas. In fact, I have like notes of stuff. Okay. Cool. Great. That's it for intros then. Announcements then. Announcements. So the next game we'll be playing will be the 23rd of October. Guys, we will be doing a module from GUI-Cube called The Menace and the Mist. So make sure you tune in for that. A bunch of our friends and players from, who knows, maybe some from the other campaign, maybe some from this campaign, will be playing in that. And GUI-Cube will be our sponsor for that. They send us all these cool stuff, and we're going to be doing The Menace and the Mist there. We'll do our best to fit it into our time slot, so it's we get a nice stopping point. So today, hopefully, we're going to be wrapping up this arc, and that way we can have a little bit of a nice break and move on to some modules and maybe some one-shots by our wonderful players that play at this table. So that TJ can have a little bit of a break and catch up on some writing and printing and painting and all that other stuff so that we can get right back into it. I will be saying that we are working hard on our campaign, on our third campaign, and that should be released sometime after that break. We're kind of toying with the idea of, around the new year, since it is October now, so we're thinking like somewhere around maybe end of December, maybe sometime in January, where we start putting in a new release schedule rather than after the week after. We record and stream the game. It'll be 2 weeks after. So for those of you that have Patreon and are our patrons, you'll get it as soon as it's done editing and up and scheduled to go, and private videos up on Patreon. You'll get it much sooner. You'll get it a couple days after it has been recorded, whereas those of you who are not patrons have to wait 2 weeks or a week and a half to watch on YouTube. But we'll have a bunch more videos from 3 different campaigns, so we should be ideally releasing at least an episode or 2 every week. So yeah, don't forget you also get access to Theurgical Theory, the Burnt Ends, all the post-session talks, the gluten talk, and all that other stuff as patrons. So go ahead and head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/diceofages, and help support the stream. I think that's it. Any other announcements? No? Yeah, the Medicine Mist is going to be very festive, Halloween-y, spooky doopy. So that'll be fun. Okay, great. Then, if nothing else, I think you guys want to play some D&D?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I mean, that's why we came here, but...
Great. All right. Cool. So then what we're going to do then is that we will get into our recap of the previous episode. Did not time myself for this one, but that's okay, because I'll just give myself the maximum amount of time. Oh, you know what I should also be doing? I should shut down this OneDrive. That's okay. That's okay. Here we go. All right. Please right click. There you go. Wonderful. All right. Okay. Cole's cloak of wispy smoke spreads across the failing body of Ermgrim, appearing to drain the life out of him and worrying the pale bard. Argus harvests the soul of one of the slimy worms, his hammer now recessed with a small silver flame, while Log begins sawing off a purple worm faceplate. Trisheni and Hika reap worm scales as some gems and metals are collected from dissolving corpses. The worked stone ruins on the other side of the chamber are examined and found to be of Durgar origin. Before venturing further, the slimy remains are burned, and the party sets up the domes to rest. Log has a touching dream with Tweg, awakening to find him able to disguise himself as a miniature Cole. Cole's dreams, however, carry a much darker foreboding. The 30th of Highlock begins as the gang spelunk for Wormball of metal and gems, collecting materials in a box. Ermgrim believes he hears people coming from the much larger vaulted chamber of tall pillars past the ruined doorway, as Hika and Log stealthily investigate. Log baits the possible followers with Moonchild disguised as Ermgrim, causing her to be paralyzed and then float back to the doorway inexplicably. The group pops up into the Sky Lounge back in the worm chamber to wait out the tale, while Cole, Hika, and Log remain outside, invisible. Several minutes pass before a band of hunters and scouts seemingly tied to the lesser clans enters the chamber and begins scouring it, collecting some possible Slayer's Rite from the purple worm corpse. The rakish scavenger is stopped by a pulse of magic from Trisheni and buried under stalactites. The clamor alerts the rest of the troop, who are soon set upon by an unseen threat of 3 Illithid. Through some sort of mental influence from the squid-like humanoids, the unfortunate delvers begin to attack each other in a vacant state, the final hunter now with tentacles wrapping around their head. Horror-stricken by the murderous mind flayers, the party do their best to remain undetected. Hika attempts to approach an exit, but is nearly found out by a winged brain dog, reducing his bodily functions to imperceptible levels to prevent this. Log attempts to shove the blinded invisible Cole up into the Sky Lounge, but there is no more room. After the creatures finish feeding on brains, they gather and summon an odd synaptic projection portraying a hulking beast of burden carrying a massive brain upon its back. Log is able to read odd text within the projection that speaks of escaped experiments and the doctor. Eventually, the Illithid trio depart the chamber, leaving the party with the barely living rakish dwarf still buried in stone. The gang rescue the dwarf and begin to head back to Steercrag, while Ermgrim comments on how witnessing mind flayers this close to the surface is entirely unprecedented. The massive mobile mind is recognized as an elder brain, striking worry into the hearts of the adventurers. Making their way back through the reaching breach, and after a quick eye check, the gang are somewhat intercepted by Pleased to Meet You. Walking through the tunnel back to town and frustrated by the half-elf's persistence, Eleazar draws his sword. Eventually, cooler heads prevail, and the ambiguous individual is found to be a spy of sorts. Pleased and the party barter for information, quickly realizing that he is more than what he seems. Lore is learned, warnings are shared, and ways are parted. A possible acquaintance left in the wake. Zemdak searches for signs of faction/Tinkercant, leading the band to a bathhouse where they wash for the first time in many moons. A secret passage is found in the cold baths that leads to another faction hideout where Pinjack and others are gathered. Plans are shared to rig the trials so as to ensure victory in the time for the solar eclipse on the 33rd of Hylock. Now, welcome back to CrestVahllen. That was spot on that time. Awesome.
That's why I gave you that little golf clap.
Oh, that's what it was. My one-liner. My brother gave me a new alias to use.
Oh, what did he call you?
The Silvervein family.
The Silvervein family?
And I have a legitimate...
Oh, you have a first name for it?
No, I don't. Not yet, but I'll come up with one.
Cloak Silvervein.
Cloak Silvervein.
Gloves, boots.
Yeah.
Well, he's Gray Glove Silvervein, right?
So like Gray Cloak Silvervein.
Gray Cloak Silvervein. Cool. So you guys are still in the faction hideout here. You guys have been talking to the elder here, the elder with all the mimics and now mushrooms, who has a mind in his head, and he's saying like, hey, he had told, just to recap a couple things, he had told you that the individuals that you guys had seen slain by the Illithid down there, the smaller clans, were it was of their doing to try to kind of like instigate them into like what they did is that obviously the faction is a bit clandestine, right? So it's not a far stretch to believe that they've been keeping tabs on you secretly as much as some other people have. Noticed that you guys went down there, assumed you're probably hunting for a worm, instigated these people that are already a bit perturbed to go down there as well. So they don't really know about the faction themselves, but that was their doing, unfortunately. Because they were trying to get the smaller clans to do it because they think they can roll the smaller clans into their cause as well to try to
Grow their faction.
Yeah. Just for the be like, hey, we gave you this information, you should do something for us. We're like, like just how political people are, just like, hey, I'll vote yes on the bill if you give me the defense contract, that kind of thing, So that's kind of the information that you've gathered so far. Unfortunately, they passed. One survived, and they're now saying, "Well, the trials have started now, and we've got to do something about it. So, if we could figure out, if we can get the trial of the mind, which is putting on the helm made out of a mind flayer skull and seeing if your mind can withstand whatever influence or." Who knows? Nightmarish gobbledygook that's going to
it tries to tear apart the mile, I don't really know. I've never worn it. Then if we can make sure that happens, the final trial happens on the day of the solar eclipse, on the 33rd, then we'll have a better chance because we'll be more empowered by the power of the moon, or at least many of us will. So we'll be able to maybe help a little better or have the way to do it. So the idea is to make sure that we try to either grease some palms or have some people in positions of note or at least influence it so that the trials happen in that order. Understand? Within the next couple of days. Because today, if I'm not mistaken, is let me count.
And like as he's counting, another finger just grows on his hand, just made of like one big old cordyceps mushroom. Like, we're like, oh, thank you. I needed an extra count. Like, and he's like, right. So today is the 30th. So we have, and it's almost done, which is the evening. So we have a little less than 3 days to make sure we get all this shit properly. Do you think you can? What is it you can do?
Well, when we get to the mind, I think I have something that can help give somebody an edge with the with that mind thing, the mind test.
Well, that's good. Like some sort of tale, story, voodoo magic.
A spell.
You are part of the Bardic College, correct?
Yes, yes, but little magical.
I understand.
extra
Magically
protection.
inspirational. I understand. Yes, of
It
course.
keeps him from burning things down while he sleeps, so it could work for that.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not going to even touch that. What?
We also may have a connection to the bar challenge.
Oh, the trial of the tavern?
Yes.
It's a bit of a misnomer. It's
Teamwork.
Back, yes. Well, it's more of just back when it first, at least from our historical records that we know, back in the day, it started in a tavern. Since then has grown into a bit of more of a production, so it doesn't really take place in a tavern anymore. But the spirit is still there.
Is there a tavern that they go to get the stuff for that? Though?
Oh,
a
like the
specific
materials
tavern?
and
Yeah.
supplies? Not necessarily, but quite a bit of the taverns in town do believe it is their duty to donate or contribute to everything because, and then they get free exposure and branding and all that jazz. We're like, if I remember, the bar's out of commission now, but the Half Barrel made the tables for. Out of reclaimed wood from outside of the mountain range. Oh goodness, the trials have been done for a long time, but at least from the records from one of the previous times this trial was enacted, and they put their brand on it and they burned it and everything, and so it's like, if you take a vehicle to a place and it's got your branding on it, and if they win, you get more business, that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, the one that you're listening to, Enkiline, we do have a connection with him through another one of the bars. I believe, I can't remember the actual name. People keep whispering that it's called the Whispering Wall, but that's not the name that it had on the
Oh,
bar.
the Quarry's Calm.
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Quarry's Qualm.
Spits out a mushroom.
That voice, he's got some biomass there as well. Maybe we can make that work for us in that favor, depending on what we
true?
do.
Well,
You're in a bucket?
we're also pretty good
With
friends
who?
with Bill Grar.
Oh.
Yeah. We're pretty tight.
Oh, yes. The proprietor or barkeep there?
Yes.
Yes.
We're pretty sure it's his poop in there, but yeah.
Oh. You like that?
It's biomass.
Well, okay, to each his own. Just can we already make a deal like right now that you don't turn my poop into a thing? That's not really.
It's nutrition, and he only really cares about biomass
Excuse
that
me, I
you're
have a
not using
conversation.
anymore.
It's just I'm not really into the vibe. Just you want. I don't want to collect my poop in a bucket. I think that's where I draw the line. No. I think this is a conversation. I'm sorry. Stop. This is a conversation for another time.
You could let some of his spores just fall in the latrine, and then you wouldn't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Oh boy.
And that's a lot of biomass.
This is
That'll
a
help him
different-
out.
This is a different thing entirely. This is gonna take some getting used to, but all right. So we can do our best, but we do our best most of our work in the shadows, of course, and we try not to be too overt in our influence.
Speaking of working from the shadows,
yes,
a little bit of extra protection for our friend
for who,
from the shadows may not go
What friend are you talking about in particular?
The one we plan to stand in front.
Oh, your representative.
Yes.
Did you mention the name?
Yeah, we did. Well, we mentioned that it was a stone worm. I
Oh,
believe.
you're talking about the young alleged stoneworm?
Yes. Perhaps if you have a few of your members that are adept at working in the shadows, they could keep an eye on him.
Okay. I think we could.
It looks at the
Moonbeams.
yeah, the moon. What does I say? The moon.
Moonbeam.
He looks at the moonbeam. This dark elf individual seems to be like in charge of that type of stuff, like the kind of their right hand with moonbeam, and he's like, he nods, or they nod, and like,
I think we could probably handle that. Just be aware that if we want to do our best not to expose ourselves and burn our agents. So if things should go down, I mean, we will have no choice but to intervene. But it would be regrettable for our undercover projects, if you understand my meaning.
Well, you definitely don't want to burn yourself when you expose yourself. That's just bad tactics.
Right, exactly. That's what I said.
Sunscreen.
Okay. We could. Do you not plan on keeping him in your company?
I just don't know that we can always keep an eye on him.
Plus, if he's in the trials, it's not a good thing for him to be with us when we're fixing the trials either.
Oh. Right.
Plausible
So,
deniability.
so the trial of the tavern is a cooperative teamwork thing. So he'll have to be involved, but and it'll have to make it kind of look like he's in charge. But
We
he
could
needs
be
a
his
team.
team, yes.
Absolutely.
What exactly do we have to do with the team? You said something about writing the tables, I believe, before?
No, well, it used to be like full tables. Now it's just tabletops. Make it and you have to take the table, put a bunch of people under it, and roll them like they were logs, like you were moving a stone along the ground, and then until the person in the end eventually gets up and goes to the front and keeps rolling, so the table can keep moving. Make sense? However, over the years, and as this different iterations of this, and more of this has happened, it's become more and more difficult. Boiling pools of wort and beer and infected alcohol that didn't turn out very well and just got thrown into geothermal pools and then just got filled up ended up being part of the obstacles. So it's now not just seeing who can get to the finish by table surfing, it's also made a little interesting by some more obstacles. The deal is, you can only get so many people on the thing, but if you fall off, or if you don't always have contact with it, you got to start over.
Is there a set number of tries that you have? Or?
No. It's just whoever completes first wins. So if you keep starting over, you're probably not going to win. There is a thing with that if you, well, the idea behind it is that no man left behind or no person left behind. When you go into shush.
Moonjail.
Shush.
Log,
Doggy
we tell you
is so
about public?
loud. Shush. You're going to give away our position. So the idea behind it, yes, of course, no person left behind. When you go into a tenuous situation in which teamwork is required, you have to make sure that, well, it was said a lot more eloquently than I can say it by one of the old dwarven lords, he said, who was defending their home from giants that came down from the tops of the mountains, and they actually went all the way into the ventilations up to the peaks of giants that were going there and threatening the textural integrity. And it was a bad thing all around. And a bunch of dwarves headed up there, the whole battalion of only 20 of them, to fight. I think it was maybe 4 to 7 giants. He said, he looked at all of them before the battle began, and he said, "No one dies." And so it's kind of built. That's one of the things that it's built upon. No one dies. Everyone makes it. If you can't make that happen, understand there are casualties, but if you can't make it happen on a silly table surfing thing, how would you be able to do that when running a whole city and possibly defending it from incursions from the Underdark? Make sense? Cool, you get it. We all get it. Yes, I know. No, I'll tell them later.
Tell us what later.
Never mind you. When I'm looking up and to the right, I'm having a private conversation.
Brain to involve yourself in the conversation.
I can't, unfortunately. Like I could probably do it with him, but I don't know about Ankylion.
Why
not?
Look,
I'm gonna put it in his. I'm gonna actually put it in his head. What do you need to tell us later?
welcome to the conversation. No, what? How are you?
Well,
what's part of private? Don't you understand?
The part where you said, "I'll tell them later," because that's normally bad things.
He just want. Fine, you tell him, since obviously he can hear you now. I guess I'm just your.
To be fair, I didn't. I was just asking you. But
guess I'm just your surrogate communication device, you little piece of spore shit. Goddamn. You hear him like, I understand that in the making of alcohol and fermentation, there is bacteria involved. I would love to be part of these large boiling pools of bacteria.
What would you be able to do as a boiling?
There are species of fungi that exist in extremis and in extreme temperatures. I believe they're called extremophiles. Or no, what are they called?
Extremophiles.
But they're not fungi. They're
bacteria.
and then
But
it's
this
not
is a world of magic.
It's not bacteria, it's fungi in the beer.
Yeah, it's like, yes, fungi. There are other forms of fungi in the beer. I would love to form a coalition and perhaps communicate and bring them into the fold.
I can do that.
I will repeat that out and be like, yeah, he wants to become part of the bacteria that's
Yeast
in the...
is a friendly cousin of mine.
Will you be able to, like,
We can do
help
that.
the tabletop go where it needs to go on the beer?
Ooh, that's a good question. Will you be able to help us, like, direct where the tabletop goes if you're in the beer?
I would need time to integrate myself with these colonies.
How much time?
As much time as you can give me.
A day? 2 days?
I believe I said as much time as you can give me.
We can give you...
I won't
2
know
days.
until I interact with the colony itself.
I'm just guessing, because what we can give you is 1, maybe 2 days. So...
I will do my best
Okay, so...
to assimilate the colony.
Okay, with enough time he can. He doesn't know how long it will take.
Do they reuse this beer or anything for any consuming it later? Do you know? Because that might be an issue if
It's just more biomass.
Ankylion's not going to take over living people.
You're asking the old dude?
Yeah.
Just
I don't think so. I mean, it's poisonous. It's gone bad. That's why they
as
pour it
long
in
as-
there. Anytime there's a bad batch, they just pour it in here, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and geothermal causes it to keep bubbling. But the condensation and the humidity in the area doesn't cause it to dry out. It's like weird.
So all we have to worry about is the drunks then, drinking it.
Well,
ones who,
I
will
mean,
drink
I
whatever.
wouldn't go in it either. It's highly poisonous. It's probably enough to eat through your skin. It's dermal contact would probably still poison you.
I really wonder if my control water spell would work.
Beer is mostly water.
I mean, sure, there's probably other things in there now, but who knows? Yeah, who knows what's living in there? drunk eels? I don't know. I've never been in there.
Log, we could see drunk eels.
I mean, we could see them, like, anywhere.
Where have you ever seen drunk eels before?
Where have I ever seen an eel?
I don't know what you did beforehand.
I mean,
I don't know.
you could see it anywhere you can find an eel and
then
feed
just
it
get 'em
alcohol.
drunk. Yeah.
Do you want to feed an eel alcohol? This is much
listen.
less work to see a cool
Not
thing.
particularly.
This is the Razor Fang Underground. Creatures that shouldn't exist in a lot of environments exist anyway. So, well, I don't think there's anything living in there, but hell, there could be. Fuck.
Besides, if you pull the right type of eel and cook it the right way, it is delicious. I'm just going to tell you.
Even if it comes out of a poisonous thing.
Well, maybe not then, but...
What's a little poison?
Well, also seeming
We'll
as
let
most of the
Argus
people
try it
that,
first.
well, also seeming as most of the people that participated in,
Eleazar and I will
in this competition or this trial are dwarves. It's not as much of an issue, given their hardy constitution and affinity for alcohol,
So you're rolling through the poison.
whether it be
is what I
sour
just
or
heard.
not.
I'll surf on the poison.
How many people are supposed to be on each team?
Oh, there's no. As far as I know, there's no limit. You can have as many as you like, but all of them have to make it to the end.
It's only as many that fit on the...
Well, as I said,
plus
you all
one
have
ship
to have
roll,
contact with it.
Rollers or riders.
Yes, yeah.
We can't fly it?
Oh, right. That's the other thing I was going to say. Any forms of levitation, flight, or anti-gravity are strongly prohibited.
Okay.
You gotta do the thing the way it's intended.
Sorry,
Can't just
Trish
float
Eddie.
over it.
Well,
It's a nice thing.
it's one of those things.
Yeah,
You gotta ask the questions.
exactly. You hate to be disqualified for something like that.
Even if you're trying to keep somebody from being left behind, can then we use the anti-gravity to pull
No,
them?
you'll be disqualified immediately. You have to do it the right way.
What if we save somebody's life using anti-gravity? Then you're still not leaving somebody behind.
Well, you'll save their life. That's great. It's very honorable.
they
You'll
aren't
still be
touching nothing
disqualified.
I'd rather have an honorable leader, but whatever.
Might give you, brownie points, but won't let make you win the competition. It's a problem-solving and teamwork exercise. It's not who has the best magic exercise.
But problem solving with magic is an important part
It
of my
is,
world.
but it's not always available.
Definitely.
And you, or whoever decides as a lord, needs to understand the capabilities of their people. And most people under their purview, especially those of the guard and whatever, don't have those types of capabilities. So you need to understand that the whole point, given limited resources and the abilities available to you, how can you lead your team and your people to victory and safety?
So, by that statement, you can't have people who are not involved, helping you out, then.
I'm not sure if that's necessarily in the rule book, but
Is there a
it's
book?
probably.
Like having somebody with a board that runs
I
out ahead
wouldn't
of
get-
you guys and puts it over the stuff.
I wouldn't get caught if I were you. The whole thing is that you have to register as a team, and everybody on the team can do whatever they want, except for flying, levitating, anti-gravity. You get the idea. None of that. And you can do whatever you want. It's generally viewed as a bit of a faux pas to fuck with the other teams, but there's a lot of people in the crowd that are like, yeah, that's fun, that's cool. You can, and it's more of just. And if people outside of your team are helping you, I just wouldn't get caught doing it. I think it's against the rules to get caught. Just as much as it's probably,
So maybe some
slightly
invisible
against the
friends in
rules
the
to get
crowd?
caught messing with the other teams.
Log, maybe some invisible friends in the crowd?
I mean... Okay. I'm not sure what I can do.
Without becoming visible.
Right.
Just get it around a board and put it down, but they're rolling over the pits, man.
That'll look like levitation.
That's true.
They have to prove that there was magic used, though.
I don't prove anything.
Can the gawk help with anyway?
I mean, maybe. What do you have in mind?
I don't know yet. I'm but
Don't think he can run very fast.
no. But he could like trip people.
As I say, he could be on another board of another team and mess with them.
Push people.
Well, I have one that might stop some of the people on the board from like going forward.
It's explicitly against the rules to kill or knock unconscious people from the other team. You can fuck with them a little bit, but it should be
Harmless.
and tasteful. I guess don't be shooting them in the face if you have a gun. Please don't have a gun.
Too late.
I'm not going to ask where you got that.
I wouldn't.
But depantsing is okay.
Yeah, humiliation is totally fine. I mean,
cock
psychological
totally do that.
warfare is totally on board. That's the whole thing, you know. And sometimes there are ways to make the proctors and the judges turn the other cheek so they don't notice certain things. Sometimes the referees can be a little biased, so
So a big wall of fire behind us.
if you can make a wall of fire.
Yes.
I guess if you were going to do that, I would recommend you make it look like it was spontaneous, maybe. Granted, it is, a boiling vat of somewhat flammable liquid. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not a chemist. But, I mean,
That could be crazy.
I don't know. You look, you figure it out. My job is to run this business, which is already... yes. Yes. Shut up. Yes.
Hey, be nice to Ankyline.
He's telling me that he would prefer if you didn't burn all of the fungi in the pool because he wants to
I understand. I wouldn't want to hurt Ankyline.
I mean, I don't care.
I know.
Ow. You can't do that.
I said I wouldn't want to hurt Ankyline.
I understand. It's fine. He's pretty. Yeah, he's okay. So, that's
He
fine.
now has a purple worm, and
So that's fine. I mean, you figure it out. I mean, you're gonna find out what's going on. Yes.
Who are the refs and who hires them? What's
what's that process?
yeah.
Well, they're mostly taken one from each of the clans. That way, it's even split. Obviously, they're going to be biased that way. But if it's one from each, then it ends up kind of canceling that whole bias out.
But if we have the minor clans with us, that's a lot of votes. It's a lot of referees.
Well, that's another thing you're probably going to want to figure out. There are a certain number of refs. Usually there is only a number, or proctors is what they call it. There's only a certain number of proctors as there are teams trying to compete for the trials. At the moment, Herak, Vogel, Martanic, and Stoneworm were the supposed ones, but now that we're entering as lesser clans, and if you try to get the support of one of the other ones, there might be some collusion or absorbing, if that makes sense. That might be something else worth of your time. Maybe you try to get someone in the proctor area that might be a little more, I don't know, moderate.
I mean,
Don't know how you'll do that, but we can try. Right? We'll have a better lay of the land and understanding of how we would do that once we find out who's actually participating in what and when it's happening. You said you had mentioned you'd wanted to approach one of the other clans to see if you would get support.
So what you're saying is you're not going to do anything.
What can we do?
You already have contacts in the lesser clans.
We do.
So you're not going to talk to them?
Contacts in the lesser clans.
You can't help.
Contacts in the lesser clans doesn't mean that they have power. The whole point why they're lesser clans is because they don't have power.
The lesser clans should already be working with the Hirak and the Mortanic.
And there's more lesser clans than the greater clans. I mean, larger numbers sometimes can create more power that way, or create a greater clan, increase their size if they can absorb them.
If you can, I can try to talk to the lesser clans and convince them to join forces with either Harak or Mortanic. But getting all three of them together, that's a pipe dream.
Maybe that's why we try and get them all behind Stoneworm, supporting Stoneworm again.
We can do what we can. Granted, we have to do all of our stuff through many back channels, so we can't directly approach anybody unless we expose ourselves.
You're of no help. Good to know.
That's
Thank you. Have a good day.
Your brother is very rude. So you just leave? Well, I don't know about him, but we'll do what we can. If you have instruction or help for us, we only know what we know from our...
Some spies you are.
I thought you were still here.
See you, Pinjack.
You know more. Okay, I'm sorry. He can be a little too pragmatic sometimes.
When he gets something in his head, it's just, that's where it is.
Blinders.
We're more than happy to give aid, but we need a little more direction. We attempted, we sent people to try and do the trial, and that flopped. So
Yeah, that was unpleasant to hear.
That was
we called in a lot of favors for that too. So the help we can give is limited, but it would help if we knew more about what your plan is. What is your plan? And that way we could work rather than being compartmentalized and possibly working against each other unintentionally.
Complete the task of the tavern, complete the task of the mind, crown a leader.
Great.
And
Very broad strokes. I'm talking about the specifics of like whether you said you wanted to approach
not
some
a
of the...
specifics type of group.
Okay. You had mentioned you wanted to approach one of the clans and try to absorb them into one of the other to make some sort of cooperation.
Or at least get them to throw their support behind our candidate.
Exactly. Yeah.
How we're going to do that, since you guys don't have the contacts for it and we don't either, that's where we're kind of fuzzy. That's why he went upstairs.
We have agents in all the clans. At least one. Vogel. I don't know. We have an agent in Vogel, but I'd prefer to hold off on playing that card until it's absolutely needed. Because that's it. We got one shot. So we're kind of holding off to see if Vogel gets in power, maybe someone comes to an untimely end.
I mean, if it's the Vogel champion, he will probably come to an untimely end sometime soon.
Great, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, he's a dick. So.
Yeah, somebody, put a huge fire sword through him the other day, so he's pretty hurt right now anyway.
Great.
Maybe your contact could finish him off.
Oh, what if you mentioned that you wanted that reservation for somebody?
What?
You wanted to reserve the end of that champion?
Oh. Yeah. We have somebody who's...
Right. So again,
wants to
I'll leave
finish
that to
that
you.
off?
I'm happy to...
Grim wants to do it himself.
Huh?
Oh boy.
He wants to end it himself.
Yeah. Trust me, it will happen.
What? Isn't that a little morally ambiguous?
We're all about that.
Log, we have a task for you.
What? I need to hear what it is first.
I know.
Given the recent understanding that our fungal friend has, if you have the opportunity to spread him to individuals that would be involved in more information sharing and gathering, we would have a unseen, unknown spy within the minds of others.
But he was very
That
anti.
literally reports directly to me. But yes, he is very against non-consent.
What about?
So
isn't,
he would request that you get a consent from them.
isn't there a sewer system in this town?
There is like, well, it's not necessarily sewers as, aqueducts that deal with waste, but yes.
Great. So we can spread his force on that, and then he's in everybody's house and can listen to, when he's in.
Oh,
with friends. And that way he's not going in living people.
This just in, he's telling me that would take a very long time.
Okay.
Because that's a lot of ground to cover. But
So everybody needs to go and use the bathroom in one of these houses, is what I just heard.
oh, that could work. Maybe you line the rim of a toilet or some or a latrine with spores, and they say, "Wait, no, I don't. No, not that way."
Or
I don't want you to go
we
up
just
that
shake
way.
them over the aqueduct area of the toilet and let it fall inside,
So we could listen to their bathroom conversations.
I mean,
It's something.
I mean, if you're going to
It's a
talk
shitty
about
idea,
something
I know,
where you
but-
think nobody's going to be
It's just
listening,
an idea.
it's a good idea.
It's just an idea. Look,
Or we could infect bugs or worms or anything else that could be living that's not necessarily humans, and you have a fun connection of all the glowworms in the city.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Glowworms, yeah.
I mean,
every time they poop, if they land on a person,
No.
if it's like on their clothes, he could listen in.
true.
That's a good point. And that's not consent. It's just, oh, oops, oh, poop, goddamn. He's not
I mean,
going
they
in
were-
them. He's just hitching a ride. That's not a bad idea.
What if they're inside? Oh,
Yeah.
Well, then I don't think they're gonna get pooped on. Because roofs are a thing. Roofs, whatever.
I mean, if we do it right, we can get rid of roofs, but then that causes more issues because it stands out.
You want to get rid of every roof?
No,
Craig?
I'm saying
The
we
roof.
could, but it would be bad.
Okay.
People wouldn't like it if we just went around collapsing people's roofs on
Look,
them or
so
something.
we
Could
have
always
very
burn
little
them.
time to do this.
They can always be on fire.
You can contact me. You can contact me.
Yep.
Is one of you connected with Ankiline?
the one that left.
Are you?
No,
No.
He's just.
he just holds on to the spores.
Would one of you
we can
like
always
to
go
be?
get the bucket from the quarry squam.
That works too. Carry around a bucket of shit with you. That's fine. If you talk to the bucket, then I'll understand. You can always communicate with me. That way I know what's going on a step of the way, and I can try to help you via our agents. Thank you.
I'm not
As best
carrying
we
the
can.
bucket.
I'm not volunteering to carry the bucket. I was just coming
Why
up
would
with
we
something.
carry a bucket? Why wouldn't we do something else that's not conspicuous, like carrying around a bucket of shit?
Right.
You're the one that brought it up. Just an established.
I wasn't talking to you.
Okay.
We could put it on like just a regular old staff, like wood, and then grow mushrooms off of it. Let's have your own kind of like moving mushroom farm, and that's not too conspicuous. Don't think.
Maybe if we do that, like Queenie will come back. She was always about the mushrooms and
Right.
everything.
Yeah, it definitely will.
I do have some hands.
That might be more conspicuous.
Actually, a bugbear walking down the street talking to Hand, would you look if you saw Log doing that?
I mean, seeing Log do that, no. But see,
Seeing a random person walking on the street talking to a hand, you might think it might be a little.
But I mean, if
Yeah.
it's a bugbear, would you look twice?
Yes, because how often do I see bugbears walking down the street?
Every
I
day
just-
when I wake up. His name is Log.
He doesn't look like a bugbear almost every day you wake up walking down the
Okay,
street.
all right. So here's what I can do. I can get you linked up with the individuals that we have as agents in the clans. You just tell me which one you want to meet with, and they can get you into possibly a situation, maybe an estate, a homestead, some sort of meeting where a bunch of them are, perhaps as, I don't know, performers or maybe mercenaries looking to possibly be their champions. I don't know. That's for you. You guys figure out I can give you an in one of these places. You just got to let me know which one.
I'd be worried about giving Anki-Line the whole power of Steer Creek.
But Anki-Line, what happens if we put you on some biomass and then we feed you to somebody?
He said he'd still prefer consent for that one.
Okay.
Because he's still being inside somebody. That's kind of just... That's still just non-consensual with extra steps.
I was more thinking of, instead of you taking control or being part of them, just being able to listen to them while you're in their gut. And then it's biomass when it comes out.
I mean, it's... Do you know how digestion works?
No.
It disseminates to your whole body. I mean, when you eat something,
No,
it
he
makes it
doesn't.
into your blood, sometimes into your respiratory system. Like, it goes to your brain, your heart, like all of that stuff. You mix it with milk, goes everywhere.
Cole just looks at him blankly as he says all these
Okay,
nice
all
big
right.
words to
Well,
him.
At least we know what we're dealing with now.
Well,
I told you.
Is there anything else I could... do you have a plan?
Nope. And I walk away.
Okay, well, talk
told
to
you.
the shit bucket if you want to talk to me, I guess.
yeah, that,
Like I told
Sounds
you,
good.
we're not fine details people.
Never thought
Turn around
I'd
and
say
follow.
that sentence out loud.
we just have to put the plan together. It'll give us a little bit
All
of
right,
time,
take
you
your
know,
time.
mull it over.
In the meanwhile, I'm going to work on our end of making sure Kyron is watched and making sure I collect as much information from our agents as possible. If I have anything that I think you should know, I'll wait till I hear from you from the bucket.
Perfect. And have both trials complete by the 33rd?
That's the idea. I can push some proposals. I can, through our agents, I can pass around some rumors that a bunch of the other clans are looking to continue the clans or have already started and everything, and that should instigate some movements to try to speed this thing along. That's we can most likely take care of making sure that the trials move and happen within the right time frame.
Perfect.
We may need help making sure that the mind happens on the 33rd and they're not switched.
Oh, do they sometimes switch the order of the trials? I thought
There
you said...
is no specific order of the trials,
Ah.
so we're trying to make sure that's predetermined.
I mean, I think it's pretty easy.
Well, I mean, everybody kept talking about getting the worm or riding the worm as the first trial, so I assumed that there was some sort of order to
That's
it.
that's the one that gets the most valor and honor and and clout. So
It's the one that doesn't need to be organized. That's what you're saying.
often, yeah, because you just go do it and there's no real rules. You just do it, you kill it, you bring back proof, and that's it.
I mean, I think you could make an argument around town. We can drop some rumors that, like, you know, given
And-
how the current stoneworm is not able to unite its people, that
It's
we
also
need
one
to
that doesn't have to
do
happen
the
with a
trial
certain time.
before.
If
Yeah.
any time you've killed a purple worm, you're done with the trial. So, but yes, that's a very good point.
Yeah, so maybe we do that a little bit just to try to help push the tabletop one.
Yeah,
first.
if you can try to convince people that people are already prepping and maybe you know something they don't know.
Maybe if we put a couple of the taverns together on getting that started.
Yeah,
That could work.
we've got the inn.
You're the one with the
we've got-
connection with the tavern.
And I'm sure if we pay the guy at the boat and Thrain enough, he'll potentially work with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's free publicity for him. I would assume he'd be fine with it, right? I mean, you've spent time with him, and that's why I'm looking at you, Log, for.
I mean, you've met him. He's down for anything.
That's true. That's true. All right. Cool. Well, we'll contact you through the shit network.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Moonchild, come on.
I know
We have a
we're
shit bucket that does sending.
I
Yeah,
leave.
Gizmo, he was useless.
For being this powerful underground organization, they can't do anything, really.
What did you expect? They're a church.
I mean, are they really that
Excuse me.
powerful?
No, they're not.
Other than setting fires, what does your church do?
Besides set fires, I don't
That's what
understand
I
the
said.
question. What else is there to do?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe heal some people?
With holy fire.
That's how you cleanse them. That's not how you heal them.
One way.
I beg to differ.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, how do you like those that bone sticking out of your hand there?
Doesn't bother me much.
I've gotten used to it.
Does it bother you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure it's closer to you next time.
Just wake him up in the morning. Yep.
I have enough nightmares without your help. Thank you very much.
Guys, look around. You notice pin jack is gone. You make it back up to the. Oh, sorry. You guys look around. You notice pin jack is gone. You make Zemdak. You make it up to the. Back to the baths. You hear little feet running after you, and he grabs you on the shoulder, spins you around like, "Hey, what was that about?"
Just seemed like they want us to think they're powerful, but like the best they can do is spread rumors. So, I mean,
I guess I can understand why you'd think that, but I don't think it's power that they're after. It's freedom. And sometimes...
the plan they had before we came down there was to attack the town to try and take it over.
Yeah, when they're supercharged during the solar eclipse.
If the best they can do uncharged is spread rumors, even supercharged, they're not going to be able to do anything. They're not going to be able to overthrow 4 powerful clans just because the power of the moon gives them a little extra juice. So
I'm not going to pretend I understand the whole thing either, but...
they made it seem like they could help us, but I don't think they really can. So...
well, helping...
that was...
Zem... Kids, what you gotta understand is that helping you isn't their first priority. It's to help their people,
Yeah.
make them free. And if they are at the moment convinced that helping you can do that, they'll do their best, but they're not going to compromise a lot of the work that they've done in order to do that. They have to think of their people first. And you know what? You're right. Sometimes they talk a little bit bigger game than they think they have. Look, I'm just... they deserve what they're fighting for.
I don't deny that. I'm just saying...
they're not...
I was hoping they could actually do something to help us.
Well,
And really, it seems more like they just want to ride along on our coattails as we carve out the place for them.
you offered.
And when we asked for help with our offer, they couldn't really do much. I'm not saying they're a bad organization. I'm just saying...
We lost a lot of people. We lost a whole cell. Not only that, but our cells rarely communicate with each other because it's so unsafe. One wrong person finds out about us, who knows, is going to descend upon us and we're all gone. We can't take the risks that you can. We can't afford to. So
I'm not mad. I'm not upset. They're just a dead end at the moment. That's why I left.
I guess I'm just sorry you feel that way. don't want to say faith, but I believe in what they're trying to accomplish.
I'm not counting them out. I'm still hoping they find some way to help us. I realized that we couldn't rely on them for any specific steps forward.
Yeah,
So
you know, I've noticed it's not as well run as it could be, but I also imagine it's pretty difficult to run a clandestine organization with people that can't really communicate very well, and such a small group, and who keep either disappearing without a trace or getting exterminated.
you're not wrong.
There may be something I can do.
I just want you to be safe.
Yeah, well, that's not up to you. That's up to me, and this is my mission and my cause. You went off and did your thing, and you said your life is chaos, and it's okay for you to put yourself in harm's way, but as soon as I say that I want to do something that could put myself in harm's way, you say, no, bro, you can't do that.
Not telling you not to do it. Just telling you to be careful.
I love you. I can take care of myself. And if I can help you, you're damn well sure I'm going to do it. Now, I haven't been here for a while, but I haven't been just twiddling my thumbs down there.
You've been sewing gloves.
Right,
So kind of.
I'm sorry, that was rude.
You expected something different?
Look,
This is over.
If you have a way to help,
shut up and listen. Herak's champion doesn't want to be their champion. Herak's champion is a pacifist. The person they don't want to be Lord of Steercrag, but they politically and pedigree-wise, they are Herak's best chance to be a possible person because they've already killed a purple worm. It ended up being a bit of an unfortunate accident as their parents died during the process. They were on something about some sort of they were out of town. It wasn't supposed to happen. Their parents died. There was a cave-in, and the cave-in killed the purple worm, but technically they did. They don't really want to have anything to do with this, but they're receiving a lot of pressure from Herak to be their champion, their sponsor, their representative. And at the risk of being disowned or, well, a lot of other horrible things that could happen to them, and not among them, not to mention being denied access to the family tomb so they couldn't visit where their parents lie. I can be sneaky sometimes. I'm small just like you. I fit into small places. I may or may not have desecrated a mausoleum or two and lied in the same like, what do you call those slots where you keep dead bodies with the skeleton in order to listen to them talking to their parents? Yeah.
it happens.
So, if you're looking for someone to put pressure on, that's a weak link. And they're looking for an excuse to not do this.
Thank you for the information. That is a very good lead. I appreciate it.
Moonchild, stop it.
But I will say that if you could be delicate, they seem pretty proud, so they might not be happy if you already know this information. They're gonna ask how you found out, that kind of thing, most likely. But you know, they could. It would be an excuse to save face if they could throw their support behind someone else.
Like I said, thank you. That is very useful information.
The old man didn't want to run that line because, well, he has a personal issue with.
I need to resolve this situation because the mine is in trouble.
The Garnet Mine?
Yes. And if this situation doesn't get resolved correctly, bad things can happen.
What's wrong with the Garnet Mine?
Bad things could happen if this situation doesn't get resolved
Are you not telling me
correctly.
to keep me safe, or are you not telling me because you don't think I can handle it, or are you not telling me that because you don't think that I deserve to know, Giz?
The same people that caused this situation to happen are watching us.
To keep me safe. I understand.
You have people you trust. You're already somewhat protected from this. The others aren't.
You want to insulate me from the situation.
No. You're helping. You're helping in your way,
Great.
and you are protected in your way. The others can't help. The others aren't protected. So I need to fix this, and then I need to keep moving to fix other things.
All right. I need to probably stay here.
And I was hoping your friends could help more than they can. And
After this, they probably can.
that's great. I just need to find a solution. And the solution wasn't down here. So I'm going to find the solution. I'm not mad. Like I said, I'm not upset. I just got to keep
you're
going.
Just doing that thing you always do. where
I gotta
you
keep
don't-
going.
You're not mad.
I gotta
but
keep going.
You're disappointed, and you make it to feel. You make everybody around you feel this like passive aggressive feeling, like they let you down, which is kind of worse, Giz.
There's a solution out there.
Got that from Mom.
I just got to find it.
No.
We just have to find the solution. It's out there. Just got to find it. Wasting time down here doesn't help anybody.
Comes in and gives you a hug, squeezes you, pulls back, punches you in the tit, says, "Don't be so disrespectful this time. These are my. I'm beginning to dedicate my life to these people. Could do at least show a little respect. You make me look like shit when you do that.
That's fair.
Can you have just a little decorum? Not every problem is a problem for you to fix."
Isn't it though? All right.
If I
All
believed in something that you didn't believe in and you thought as a problem, are you going to fix that? Why don't you think on that? And I'll do my job. I love you.
Love you too. Don't die.
Don't be a dick. And he walks back downstairs, and you guys see him passing as you guys are walking upstairs, and he just as he's passing you, he looks you dead in the eye at Argus and pulls out a glove. Kind of smirks to himself and skulks down back into the faction hideout. When you guys come up, see Zemdak looking a little more pensive than usual. Yep. Guys are all back. Are all of you back in your clothes, or did some of you go down there naked?
We got dressed.
Yeah, we did say we got dressed.
Yeah, we don't want to go into a strange tunnel.
You wang out.
Right.
I would have gone with unprotected, but that's fine.
Demetrius inside. He said, "Maybe you do." Is that a euphemism? Going into a strange tunnel with your wang out? Is that?
I don't know why you have to ask those questions.
Get some strange.
Because sometimes some people want to know some strange shit.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
All right. So, oh my god. Okay, so you guys are in the bathhouse. It is like early mid evening, but it's yours.
All right, so do we know where these beer puddles are?
I do
Your
want
puddles
to
are
prepare some
generally on the
certain
floors of
spells, too.
taverns, dog.
I'm sorry.
Since we're on a
One's for
full
the
rest, I
thing.
want to prepare some spells.
A
We
full
could do
rest.
that.
I guess
Full
whenever
rest.
they do it.
You guys didn't take a long rest yet.
Oh, I'm sure we're about to.
We have to go to sleep. We have to go to sleep for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of hoping Bill Grar could point us in the right direction.
Well, I could use a drink.
What are you wanting to prepare?
Plus, I would love to see you guys try and leave the third floor again.
It's about dinner time, right?
I've got the few that I think are necessary.
Could be, yeah.
There's
Somewhere around there.
Go check in, see if he has any more rumors for us.
Great guys. So you're gonna head
Think of
over
anything we
to.
can talk to the poop bucket.
Yep.
I've got I don't know if I would even.
You're gonna head over to the Bone and Brine.
Restoration. I'm sure
No,
The Quarry's Qualm.
Yeah.
The Quarry's
But I would
Qualm.
do protection from poison spell. 'Cause I imagine it's
Great.
gonna be me
Yeah.
and you.
Easily enough, you guys head over to the Quarry's Qualm,
doesn't do
where the dwarf
Doesn't do anything on me.
individual Bill Grar is there, still,
Make sure at least.
taking care of stuff. It's like moderately busy. There's people here, just like any other tavern. A lot of stuff going on here. I'm not sure if I described this place properly before, but I think I did. But it's like one of those like circular towers, like castle towers, that has just kind of like seen age and kind of falling apart. So sometimes you can see in a little bit, but it's just like been repurposed, like a fortress tower that's been like repurposed, cylindrical with crenulations as for a tavern and inn.
There's a very good chance that one guy's back in the shower again where everybody can see him as we're walking up.
I don't know if we specified a gender, did we?
I don't
Who,
remember.
Bill Grar?
No,
No,
the shower.
The person who was in the shower when we... I swear he used a male voice, but that could mean anything.
What? I thought we just heard them go, ooh.
I try to do by
ooh, that was
default,
it.
not assign genders to them.
Yeah.
One reason, it's a spectrum, and two, I try not to catch myself in a lie if I forget.
I was like, I don't think you specified.
Yeah,
I just catcalled just because. It wasn't for any reason besides to make them feel better.
So, I had a thought. What if we were to get that bard for Vogel to drink Inkyline and give consent somehow with that, and then we'd have not only a spy in Vogel, but when this is done, we have a spy in the college.
I mean, it's going to be you convincing him, so if you think you can.
I mean, my way of convincing him would be to get him to look over there while I just sprinkle it over his thing. I wouldn't worry too much about getting him to say yes, but
I mean, I don't know a lot, but that doesn't sound like consent still.
that's why I'm saying. Wait,
Cole
love,
keeps
love.
trying to find. It's weird. The bard is trying to find ways to circumvent consent, which makes me feel wildly uncomfortable.
Is that really a weird thing for a bard?
We should normalize consent for bards. We really should.
Yeah.
We should normalize.
We should normalize consent for everything.
Yes.
Everyone and
We
everything.
should celebrate consent.
But I mean, if we could get him to do it, we'd have a spy in Vogel and inside the college, potentially, if he goes back
I
to the
mean,
college.
personally, I don't think that we should just be spreading Onculine into people.
Agreed.
In
I
general.
agree with you, but that fucker already started spreading them to people.
That fucker wasn't paying attention to what was going on.
One
He
person.
thought it was a fun custom, and he was trying to think of how to share
I was sharing.
in the custom. And so the guy had mushrooms. He thought, hey, he probably wants mushrooms.
I was giving him new fungus.
I'm really surprised Aculine hasn't gotten you on that non-consent.
Well, he knew it was a mistake.
I'm still using my biomass.
Yeah, so was he.
Well, it happened and it was done with, and it was, you move on from there. No one approves of it, but it's just you have to move on.
You guys are giving me all this smack about my one little idea. He's already executed it, and we moved on like it was nothing.
But that was not even planned. That was not a premeditated idea.
I agree. I'm not saying it's a
You're
good
trying
idea.
to premeditate.
I said
getting
it's
around
not
About the difference
necessarily a
between
good
manslaughter
idea.
and murder right
Yes.
now.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
Exactly.
the guy already had fungus growing on him. I just gave him new fungus. More useful fungus.
You know what? I think we're just going to walk away from this one now, because I don't think this is going to end well either way.
Yeah, what other?
Ermgrim creeps up with y'all guys because he disappeared for a while and he came back. And he goes like, he does say to them like, that was a pretty dick move. You probably shouldn't have done that. If nobody else is going to call you on it, I'll call you on it.
I mean, he seems like they made friends like immediately, so
Oh,
Still
no,
shouldn't
the
have, but it
argument...
happened.
He...
That's not the point. It's the principle of the matter.
Plus, there's more argument
from
going
a guy who
on
wants to
inside
murder
of there
somebody
than you would
for,
think.
like,
I mean,
20 something
he stuck a mimic on me,
Revived.
so
Who
Tit
did
for
that?
tat.
it was a little bit of
Reviving someone and
self-defense.
killing them over and over again isn't consent either, Ermgrim.
Well, I know you're here. Is the Herak champion on your list?
I'm not sure if I'm aware of who the Herrick champion is.
All right.
Well,
It
who's on
sounds
your
like
list?
not.
Yeah. That's
'Cause honestly,
he hasn't actually
after-
told you guys anything.
I thought you had told us some of that.
Wisdom.
No, because we had crazy stuff going on that we never actually sat down and talked about
Right.
it.
Well, forget that
You know,
we know
white
anything.
flares.
Shut up.
Yes, let's talk about my lists in public while we're walking through the town of Steercrag.
Well,
I mean, we're
it's your
talking about-
grocery list, right? It's the meats and the eggs and the rope and the caltrops and isn't that what?
Yes,
those-
but it's a secret
Pickle.
recipe, so we should probably do it once we get to our room.
Oh, you
Your
didn't
rooms
say
are
it was
very
a
secret.
secret before.
Oh shit, that's a good point. Can't one of you do the dome thing, the dome face thing, the dome piece, the cranium, the brain?
He wants
thing?
you to talk to his brain.
Who can do the brain thing?
Oh,
Like this.
Great.
you mean this thing?
Great.
the two
Wait,
people
which
with the
one?
lowest intelligence.
Shit. Okay. Fuck. To who it may concern. Lord Largenstoner is on my list.
Of course.
You're running this down, right?
Not out in public, Log.
Of course, like you just know.
Um,
Well, I just have some general things.
Klaxon Yoak is on my list. But
Clankson.
Klaxon, Klaxxon, Klaxon Yoak, YO''ACH. Oh, God, I can't spell.
What the fuck's an apostrophe?
Log, I'll teach you about it some other time.
Okay.
From what I knew, from when I did my studies on the mercenaries and the hunters that were, because we had our own clandestine issues, and we would keep tabs on our. When in Grimdamar, we'd keep tabs on the biggest threats because we had our own agents to our peoples. Logrun's last name didn't always used to be Stoneworm. It used to be Thankmar or Thankmar. THANCMAR. Logrun Thankmar. And Klaxon's last name used to be Yoak. But now, they're Klaxon Vogel and Logrun Stoneworm.
I thought that was Hedak. Maybe I'm wrong.
So is Klaxon the...
Klaxon was the one I stabbed.
Okay,
Oh,
that's what I was going to ask. Is that who you
Well,
said?
he didn't make a whole lot of noise when you stabbed him. That's always good. Doesn't live up to his name that way.
I've been away for a bit, finding information, talking to some of the representatives of the Immolate. It appears that the rest of those individuals that were present during what happened to my sister have already escaped my wrath by finding unfortunate ends by other means.
Did at least
Lucky
one of them fall
bastards.
to a horrible death?
A few hunting accidents. They were hunters, mercenaries. It's a dangerous line of work. Happens all the time.
You could always picture them being sucked out by a illithid.
Oh, believe me, if I could find their remains and bring them back, I would, just so I could kill them again.
Well, I mean, hunting accident, that's kind of a betrayal by whoever they were with, right? You know? Somebody's spear goes through you
when I
in
say
a hunting
accidents,
accident.
they were probably killed by the thing they were hunting, because that's an accident, because he was a
Oh,
hunter.
I like the idea of
It's a
their
fuck up
hunting
if you get
companion
killed by the
accidentally
thing.
shot them.
Well, I don't know the whole story. All I know is that they're no longer with us.
I know, but
And they
the
escaped my
story of
wrath,
them
and that
being
makes me
shot
angry.
by a companion is so much better for the revenging.
Alright, well, Klaxon and Logren are on my list. Klaxon in particular, I want to...
Maybe we can use that.
He's the one that did what... He's the one that forced my sister to unravel herself. Logren stood and watched.
I wonder if we could use the fact that we did save his life from a certain blue flame wielder over there as a way to get him out and cornered somewhere for a certain blue flame wielding person over there. I mean, if he's no longer the champion, Vogel's got to scramble for a new champion, don't
Yes. Let's tie ourselves to his assassination.
they? We already tied ourselves to his assassination.
No, we
You
didn't.
make a good point, but if I'm being honest with you, it's
doesn't
still
get the
secondary to my revenge.
You don't have the power for your revenge.
Well, you think? Point me to him.
You know where they are. I just don't think it's a good idea until you have it buttoned down. I'd rather, if you're going to get revenge, you have to make sure you do it right, or it won't succeed.
There are casualties during the trials, they said. Sounds like a good time to do it.
I also don't mind if it's the last thing I do.
I think your sister
I'll
would.
need a way out.
I definitely think your sister would.
Yeah.
That's a low blow from you.
No, it's putting you in perspective.
You may be right. It's hard.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's arguing that.
All we're arguing is when it's the best for you to take your revenge, not...
8 and 8 away at me behind those bars. It's almost the only thing I could ever think about. It's become my whole personality at this point.
And that's okay.
And that could be a part of their plan for you to lose yourself.
You mean the conclave?
Yeah.
You think they...
Why the else would the
Planned all
Dokkan
of
and Rai be involved?
Yeah.
There's
I don't
no
think-
other answer.
I mean, I don't know anything, but I don't think the Dorkan and Rai really cared how or who or how or...
They're managed by them.
They made it very clear. They just follow their orders, but that tells you who was involved in it.
That's what pissed me off the most, because I think they were just paid to get rid of them and imprison me. And then Klaxon found some sick pleasure in doing it the way he did. But maybe you're right. Maybe they did give him the instructions. Maybe they gave it to him because they knew that
You do it.
he would do it. But Why? Why would they create?
You do not
Me.
focus on Grindelmar? You to focus on revenge?
They could have just kept me in jail then. Why would they? I mean, it's not
They-
like they wanted me to escape.
Right. Plans and then plans. They're making sure that even if you did get out,
You think that they?
who's to say
knew-
they wouldn't release you once they're done with Klaxon? And they would need Klaxon and Logren taken care of.
Right. Or you could be the face of a new war, right? With you being recognizable and from Grandmar.
You know,
It would throw
enemy
the
from-
Razor thing back into chaos.
Yep.
enemy
And
from
that's-
down in the breach that came through and killed a bunch of people that are high in the city would be a great reason to go to war.
Let's distract from what the Illithid are doing and everything else that's happening in the Underdark.
Make both Styrtrag and Grimdamar vulnerable for the picking. But why? Grimdamar has a massive size of Terrazine.
Yeah.
And we have definitely found that they like to set plans in motion well before they figure out who they're going to be using in those plans.
They're also obsessed with power.
So
Terran-
maybe they kept me alive as a deterrent? Or do you think they kept me alive? Oh, none of this makes any
Who's in
sense.
charge of Grandmar right now?
He doesn't know.
That's
He
the
can't
issue.
send.
Right, I forgot about how. Yeah, not quite there yet.
Really?
Can't raise the dead, can't send.
I mean, it'd be a useful skill you could have.
Yeah, I'm working on it. You can't make a plasma blade.
Didn't
I mean-
get handed down to
Turn
you?
to Ermgrim and make one.
In public.
Log's been doing this.
Stop it.
What-
Fix it. Stop it. Turn it off.
Wasn't that handed down to you? Did you make
Can
it?
we get to the... Because half of this conversation is having it in their head.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you don't hear a lot of
Okay.
it unless it's like it's happening third party.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
hey,
only
he said
like,
this.
I
Hey,
might.
he said this.
I'll relay a little bit to Argus.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
guess
that,
like
not
some
everything.
three-way telepathy, like 'cause, like it's taking a while, but like you're almost there. It's like it was.
Well, which is why I was saying his name is Clankson because
Klaxon.
He's doing it in
He's
his
calling it clank
Um,
because he makes noise.
so my family is into breeding the right qualities into our people so that we can be stronger. And we're very logical and pragmatic, and if it doesn't serve a purpose, there's no point in it being. The dwarves are a little, underground dwarves, rather than the underdark dwarves, are a little more artistic. It's a mixture of artistry and pragmatism. Whereas in the Duragar culture, if it doesn't serve a purpose, it's better off used as spare parts to serve a purpose.
he called you an artist of flame.
The same way they think about
Since you're an
Coupling.
underground dwarf.
children. So I was bred as one who could possibly be one to be blessed with such abilities because they became aware of the primordials. And lo and behold, it happened. I didn't want it. I didn't choose it. My ancestors chose it. So, kind of forced upon me, yeah.
I mean, I didn't choose it. It happened to me.
Well, you had, like, from what I hear, loving parents and, like, a home that, supported you.
That's now
and
gone.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Look, I don't want to compare trauma. That's not what the point is. This isn't the whose life is worth Olympics. I
don't like to compete in that one.
I don't know.
I have friends like Trisheni.
What don't you like to compete in?
It's my sister that wanted
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It could have been either one of us. She was happy to be a part of it, to aid to the cause, to contribute to. She actually believed. Many of the others posed as believers or just pandered to it just in order to get grasp on the power, but somehow Kossuth chose me instead. Why? I'll never fucking know. Some cruel irony. And if it wasn't enough, then my sister was taken away. So, yes.
You need to understand that it's for a reason. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to
You know
grow.
how many times people have told me that?
Oh, of
You have
course.
this for a reason. You were chosen for a reason. You were bred
Yes,
this way for
I
a
do know what that is like.
I never believed it. I don't.
There's your problem. You want the abilities of Kossuth? You need to believe it. You need to accept his
What
power.
if I don't?
Don't want his abilities?
I don't want to believe it. What if it's not for me? I didn't choose this.
We don't choose
So a
everything
faith-
that happens in life.
So you're saying that a faith that chose me, I now have to believe?
I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying you're wanting more of his power, more gifts from him. You can't do that if you don't believe.
I just feel like I'd be wearing a mask.
That's why you have to believe. This is not on anyone else. It's what's in your heart. It's your internal flame.
I don't want it anymore.
Sounds like you wanted the revenge. You wanted the power. If you don't want any of it, that's a whole different conversation.
I sometimes wonder if it would be better to forget. But then I end up falling on the side of the fence that would mean forgetting
Everything.
about my sister.
And that would be writing her out of history.
And that would be worse.
Absolutely.
We should talk to the Hyamelit sometime after we're done with all this nonsense. Because I don't think I'm ever going to believe the way you believe. Faith and religion and all that. But if I can be their instrument, their catalyst, their champion, I can believe in what it is we can accomplish.
You have it in you. Otherwise, he would not have chose you to be the keeper of the blue flame. It's there.
It's also part of me that's like, did he actually choose me to be the keeper of the blue flame? Or
You have it.
that's,
He chose you.
what if that's not how it works? What if it works in a way of those who have the best aptitude are somehow find some inexplicable link and then it just manifests? I mean, that's
How-
what the Grim Dabar was doing. I mean, they were trying to find those that would have the best link.
That's still you
What if it's
being that's still you being chosen.
Wouldn't that
You
mean-
are still one of all of those people. You were chosen.
Yeah, wouldn't that mean that there'd be more of you then if that was the case?
There's one, and Kossuth chose you.
I think there's a bit of a statute of limitations on. Look, magic is weird. Primordials are weirder. It's.
You see the people I journey with. Do you think that we don't get that it's weird?
Also, we both know that Kasuth is a deity or a higher form that is desperate, on the run. Who's to say I was his best choice, or he even chose me, or if I was just the one that was convenient at the time?
What does that matter? You were chosen.
It matters because I don't
Your
want to be
destiny
important to him.
was taken. If you don't want to be important to him, that's your prerogative. But he sees something in you. You have this ability. You have this flame. If you want to give it up, I'm sure there's a way to do that.
I want to use it the way I want to use it.
That's not how deities work.
Telling me.
Because they'll change that on you real quick.
Maybe that's why I can't do the sending thing.
That's how the church says it works. Give me the money. It'll happen if I give you. If you give me the money.
My proof of faith should be that I use his gifts. Period. But I don't think we're ever going to see eye to eye on this one, but I understand where you're coming from. All right, I think we need to go inside.
Doc, should we drink?
What the fuck? Why are you asking?
I don't know. Sometimes they tell us that we shouldn't go drink. We should all go back to the room.
I mean, you can bring the beers to the room. I'll get
I mean,
The party
Zendak
bar.
has a open bar in his bag.
He says he's trying to save it. Every time I bring up drinking it, he says we need to save it.
I mean, it's free now, right? With you're in.
I mean, yeah, it's free here.
Well,
so-
then maybe
Exactly.
you need to acquire
guys
some, put it there,
All
and
walk
then it's
in.
not
Bill
his.
Grar like notices you. He's like,
I'm Joe Pesci right now, so.
"Oh shit! You do this to me all the fucking time." Be like every time. Oh, get log, you get noticed. He's like, "No, they don't, because I'm somebody else."
He notices the rest of us. Though.
All the time. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
Moonchild
he notices
is
the
right
rest
next
of
to you,
it.
so he might notice.
Well, so I'll just like for a
recognize that.
second I'll like Eugene Levy and then I'll like change it back and wink back.
There's like. Picks up his shik bucket. It's got a big fucking
Mushroom.
what looks like fly amanita mushroom coming out of it.
Don't lift it. Just leave it down.
I mean, that's not sanitary. You probably shouldn't have that out in the bar.
Yeah, that was supposed to stay in your room.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy's not that smart.
I mean, but I gotta.
Oh God!
What if
Oh,
So you're just shitting right here in the bar?
Don't
No.
finish that thought.
No, I don't.
Please don't.
I don't
finish that
shit
thought.
where I eat, but you know, sometimes you drink a little too
Wait,
much
are you
and you
eating
gotta
from the
vomit.
bucket?
And you gotta vomit. I vomit in the bucket. You know, if you gotta vomit because you drink a little much and then you gotta throw up. And I thought,
It is
well, that's also
biomass.
the stuff. Exact, it's the stuff. So I thought, hey, I could help by not wasting
full is
everything
your
that comes
bucket?
out of me goes in there, right?
Remember we said you would need to upgrade to a wash basin? I think it's probably time for that.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I got it. You want me to do that now?
Well, wait. Have you heard anything else anymore? What's the word on the street?
Oh yeah. Anything specific? Cause I heard a lot.
I don't know what the fuck do we want to know?
Anyone else started the trials?
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah. Looks like a couple people left this afternoon to the Reaching Breach. I think it was Mortanic. From what I heard, there was a Mortanic hunting party that left that left.
They're the ones that
But
said
they
they already
didn't
killed one?
go. Actually, I should correct myself. They didn't go to the Reaching Breach. They went somewhere else. Looks like they knew what they were doing, though, or at least they heard that they knew what they were doing. They had a lead on something. Vogel is getting their supplies together for the Tavern trial, and already have started to hammer out the logistics for the trial of the mind. Word on the street is Vogel Champion already killed Purple Worm some time ago.
Even with him failing to kill that purple worm the other day at their
Oh yeah, well,
meeting place.
No, like a couple years ago, he
So-
did that thing. That was, I mean, that wasn't good for his for
Street cred.
for his clout. Probably not. He probably feels pretty bad, but
I mean, how can you trust? I'm actually trying to put a rumor in his ear now. I mean, how can you trust somebody like that they actually defeated a purple worm before when they won't attack it?
I mean, I don't make the rules. I serve food and drink. But you want me to? But I can make him sound like a dick.
I mean,
or how about just like himself? Because he seems kind of like a dick.
Yeah,
maybe you should
he's a dick.
start asking people that question, though.
Sure.
Maybe somebody will come up with a good answer for you.
Yeah. Hey, man, you hear about how that Vogel dude couldn't kill a purple worm that was right in front of him? Like, wow, what was that about, right? And this dude looks like this dwarfish dude looks at him. Sure.
Look, man, I'm just trying to drink here.
Basically.
His name's Claxus. That's the sound he made when he hit the ground.
Is there that trial of the tavern thing? Is there like a specific course?
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
Do you know where it starts?
Happened at one of the caverns off the side tunnel Stewart Crack. Actually, I know exactly where it is because that's where I dumped some of the sour.
Awesome.
beer.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that's where you get the fire toad.
I've got to send
from.
some runners there every once in a while. I've been there once or twice.
Can you point me in that direction?
Oh, for sure. He'll tell you exactly where it is.
Okay.
Alright.
He draws a very bad map,
So not surprised.
like
That
stick
tracks.
figure style map. But he gives you a couple landmarks, so you know exactly where to go.
Looks like a little kid's maze.
They, I would say, probably by now, there might be some guards posted there, just because it's becoming a place now. But I mean,
I pick up one of the tankards. Can I borrow this?
yeah, for sure. But they don't ask questions if you walk in there with like a keg being like just dumping. They don't usually ask too many questions. But it'd be a little odd to have a whole people, unless each of you were carrying a keg and you say, "Oh, sorry," like whole big lousy
I mean,
batch.
if you have kegs to give me, we'll
I
all
could
take a
give you,
keg.
I could give you some kegs. I could fill it up with water or
No,
something.
Yeah.
we'll take the good shit.
Wait, no, I don't want
Look,
you to
look,
throw
look.
out the good
We
stuff.
don't want to pour the good stuff down the hole.
No, I know. I'm
That's
telling
how
you
much
to
he
give
wants
us
to take it
kegs.
and then fill it
But
with
that's
water.
how I make my money. That's how I run
Yeah.
this business. I mean, look, dude, I'm happy to help you out, but
Well,
like,
exactly. Has he been able to make you your stuff yet?
not yet. But he did make me see some very weird wibbly things the other night. He told me to eat them, and I threw up because I think it was food poisoning. But I also
But you saw
felt
things.
weird. I saw some things. That was a different thing. He's working there. He said he needs limbs.
He's
I've
got
some
hands.
No, like he needs to still grow limbs.
He needs some time to grow full.
Yeah.
Well, if he, I mean, I have hands here. If that'll help,
You want to throw hands in my bucket?
ask him. Ask him if it'll help.
Do you want
This is nightmare fuel.
this man to throw hands in you? I forget how this works.
Shake it. Some spores will come out.
Oh, right. Some sloshing.
I step back.
Oh, right. Okay, there. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Whoa, that's slow down. That's too fast. That is too fast. Okay, that's a positive on the hands. Positive on the hands. He also says you look rather fetching.
Thanks. Dump the hands on.
All right. Great. She says thank you.
I feel that the other one who's wearing Oculon is going to be our last big bad.
The conclave is Onculine.
Right.
He takes up.
Anything else you want to know about? You said you want kegs. Why do you want my good beer?
No. Do you have anything that needs dumped out now?
Yeah.
Let me.
Or,
check.
I mean, just a spare keg full of water would be fine.
I mean,
Yeah, I could give you a couple kegs full of water. I can do that. That's
if you
easy.
need us to, we can ruin a couple of kegs for you. I'm sure Log.
Well, that
and
seems a
ATLine
little
and you
unnecessary.
Can do it.
Let me see. Let me see what I got here.
Oculon could go into one of the kegs that gets dumped.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's
That
not a
makes-
bad idea.
Ban that way.
We,
Yeah,
we
you
might
know, I got about 4 kegs of sour that went even more sour. Didn't really turn out as well. Apparently,
We'll
dwarves
get
and
rid of 'em.
underground folk don't like sours too much. Who knew?
We'll get rid of them for you.
Sure,
Why don't you
could take them.
spice those up before we dump them?
Yeah, you can just get them from the back. Got them lined up right there.
No, he's saying like, pour some spores on them,
No, I got.
I meant the kegs.
We'll take care of it.
Get the kegs from the back.
I was talking to Giz.
Oh, sorry. Too many.
I'll pre-spice the
I'm
kegs
pretty sure he followed what I was saying.
before we dump them.
You know, talking to you guys not much different than talking like to him. It feels like it's everywhere all at once, and it's hard for me to focus on a voice.
That's fair.
I know how that goes.
Inside his head. That's fair.
What the fuck? Oh, was that you? No.
It was him, and I point to Tiny Cole.
What the fuck?
Do you know where the Herak?
Estate?
Yeah,
People?
estate. Yeah.
Family? Gravesite?
Where we would find the leaders, the champion.
Oh, well, I mean, they're about town, but if you want to head over to the estate, yeah, that's on the north side of town.
Cool. Thank you.
I can point it out for you. Makes another very bad map. It's just like a circle with a fang in the middle, and then like a little stick
dot,
figure.
yeah.
Is there any place we can buy a real map?
I'm sorry, it's not my thing.
You're good.
I only learned my letters a couple of years ago because someone was kind enough to.
He just learned
Was
his
it was
a few
it
weeks
was it
ago.
a gnomish individual, like a traveling tinker?
Why did you move that? It was there for a reason.
It was specifically there for.
For a reason.
Okay.
This is the trial.
Shame.
This is the trial of not touching Adam.
Let me just change the challenge.
I'm touching it.
This is a trial of not touching.
Just keep pushing yourself. The next enemy will have another legendary. Keep pushing it. He responds to the crinkling sounds.
I'm just imagining. Oh yeah, you want
Yeah, yeah.
to find that rust monster he's got lined up, right?
We'll make another one.
You know what? I'm actually due for an order. They ordered a couple bottles of imported wine that came in just yesterday. I'm actually due for an order to Herak. I was gonna walk it over today. You want to save me some trouble?
Of course.
Sure.
Great is a crate of get this, elven wine.
And you trust them?
Oh no, elven wine.
No, it's a little sweet,
That's some interesting taste.
Trust. It's made
Are they
out of here.
are they run by elves?
Well, trade still happens.
No,
probably.
but I meant the head of Herak.
No. Most of the clans are run by dwarves and gnomes.
Yeah,
they're
but
actually-
they still have a possibility. I was just wondering.
That's a good point. Technically, Mortanic at the moment, their head is a human female, but she's so old that she's not the de facto champion. Someone else is the de facto champion. She's more of just like a figurehead at the moment because, she's on her way out, but respect, she's just done a great job. She's a little old fashioned, but it's weird. She's
Those couple eye
seeing
blinks.
It's a little weird because it was the other way around the last time, and it's weird seeing their parents outlive their children at one point. Anyway, so yeah, I got a crate. I got 2 crates actually, special order.
All right, what are we doing first?
We would be happy to deliver that for you.
Direct from Tulay, actually.
I think we need to dump the bad stuff out first.
Okay.
Give it time to marinate.
Yeah.
Sure.
We need to do that first.
Or do we split the party?
No.
Nog and I can totally go talk to Henrik. It'll be fun.
You guys need to saddle up for the night, or do you want to? I mean, I don't need to do it today. I was going to do it after my shift, but I mean, I can do it later. It's no big deal. It actually came in 2 days early, so not like a minute.
Oh, so we can take the
Let's
wine
go dump.
tomorrow, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
if you
Okay.
want. Yeah, I'm not really in a hurry.
Well, we need to
Yeah.
get
All right.
all the trials situated for the time frame we need.
Yeah.
Sure.
How would you like to be a sponsor?
Oh, for the tavern trial, I love to be a sponsor. Actually, haven't been approached yet, so you could get on the ground floor of this wonderful establishment with many good ales and wines.
Well, how does that?
And use one of my tables branded in my image.
Is Kyron in here with us?
He was with you
Yeah,
the whole time.
He was
So,
with Pernua and
Yeah, no, we kept
the
upstairs with
pool
Pernua
house.
in the bathhouse
Yeah,
while we had our
Pernua-
clandestine meeting.
Yeah. I think Pernua just
They came
took him
back with
upstairs
us.
at the moment.
Our
Just
friend Kyron here is
'cause
looking
he's
to put
supposed be
together a team.
safe, and that's what you're trying to do.
Our friend Kyron here is putting together a team.
Okay, fine, he's here.
That's right. I was just
There's too many NPCs. What have I done to myself?
That's very true. We have a lot
Just wait
of
for the whole conversation.
Hello?
All your NPCs.
I am a paragon of destiny.
Just in case.
Right, and just in case. So. What?
The next trial.
We're getting
Right, yeah.
We're getting ready to start the next trial. set
Yeah.
up.
We're trying to get that.
Right.
He's gonna be your sponsor.
So I, the rightful heir to the Stoneworm name, would love to invite you to be a sponsor, so we may, what's the word I'm looking for? Coast upon your plank of triumph, as we show to the rest of the crowd that we, for sure, are the progenitors of destiny and the successors of due process.
I'm gonna
No,
start
that's not
writing
right.
you some speeches.
No,
Those.
that was due process is the legal thing. What?
I need to burn something.
We're gonna win, and you should sponsor us. Ta-da!
And yes, he's always like that.
He already said yes.
Oh, well then why did I?
I don't know.
Because we're
Why did you ask me to?
Because we're
Because
introducing
it's
you to
entertaining.
the sponsor.
Oh, hi, I'm Kyron. I'm the rightful heir to Stoneworm. Can I be on your plank?
He's already killed a
Sure.
worm.
He has killed the worm already.
Final blow.
He looks at all of you like,
Cole just goes, "Shut up and nod your head."
in his head.
Yeah.
Okay.
His spear pierced the beast, and
At
as
the
it
time of
died.
its death.
Well, can't say that I'm not surprised, but congratulations, little one.
Kyron, make sure you give him a gold for being a sponsor.
Give him a what?
Kyron doesn't.
Did you tell
Give him
Kyron
a
that?
what? Gold?
Yeah, just
Oh.
because he's your sponsor, so
You just
Oh, right. It's because you got paid for supply. Yeah, sure. Here you go.
You guys are just squeezing this guy dry.
I'm running a little
Keep
low.
squeezing.
It's Emerson's money.
I'm helping our allies out.
Okay, thank you for the help. Just like I'm running a little low. And I don't really have.
But you're gonna have so much more after you win the trials.
Sure. Yeah, I guess we're investing in future profits. I just at the
Exactly.
moment I don't have an income, so like this is all I've got.
Well, no,
All my eggs are in one basket.
You have to spread the gold to be able to like do this though too. You can't be.
You're right. Totally understand.
it's like planting little seeds. Then you
Great. So we will expect your materials in good time.
How soon are we looking to do this, Kyler?
Like the
Tomorrow. The day after tomorrow.
what? We're not doing it tomorrow.
We're going to do it the day after tomorrow. The 32nd of Hylock. Yes. All right. I guess I could just talk to the Tavern Guild and make sure that we put it tentatively on the calendar like that.
Great, wonderful. Thank you for
Really?
your help.
All right. Honestly, it's mostly up to us anyway because it's pretty much whatever the taverns can get together.
Sure. Anytime in the next couple of days, before the 33rd.
You say you wanted the 32nd?
Yeah.
As soon as you guys can put it together in the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
32nd would be nice.
I'll aim for the
but-
32nd. If it ends up being tomorrow, sorry, we'll try. But I'll do my best.
It's hard to get so many people together on the same.
to all
Yeah,
Schedule.
yeah, you know,
It's understandable.
the branding, all the ale, it's like, but I have to say, Steer Craig and just, the Razor family people in general, they're always down
Love
for
a good party.
Love a good party. So you have to know, hey, we're doing a party down at Jefferson's, and he's like, well, come on, I just got home from work. You're like, yeah, but there's an open bar. I'm like, all right, let me get my boots on. It's just ready to go.
But I mean, Karadim was all about the party in their off hours, so I can only imagine further in.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, they're part of it. They're part of it.
Do you know who organizes the third trial?
Oh, that's reserved to the actually overseers and protectors of the thingy, the thingy that they put on the
hat?
helmet, whatever it's called. That's reserved to whoever's in charge of actually being the guardian of that thing, because it's a dangerous artifact, which is eventually boils down to the current lord at the time.
So Lord Stoneworm.
Yep. His Majesty Logren, Stoneworm, most likely. One of his purviews and one of his responsibilities is to make sure that thing's guarded and everything. It's kept in a pretty secure location too. It's not that it's like secret; it's just hard to get to.
So if someone just shows up to his gates and demands to take the trial, does he have to?
I don't know if anybody's ever done that before, but you try, I guess.
You can get us access tonight, Karen.
As the rightful heir of Stoneworm, I can't fathom that anybody would turn me away from my own estate.
Really?
We'll work on that, bud.
There's other words you can use to say those things.
Just let us know. We've got some errands to run.
All right. Your room's prepped.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I left the bucket up there just in case empty, in case you want to, start your own. Keelan mentioned it might be a nice thing to do.
Are you doing that? Is that a service you offer in all the rooms now?
Well, he told me to kind of keep it between us at the moment,
That's
just
fair.
because, he's.
Sentient mushrooms could be a little,
Yeah, I was just
off-putting.
like,
But if you,
I know you, he knows you. He didn't want to be like, oh, just put a bucket in everybody's room, and.
But if you put a bucket in everybody's room and then pick it up every day and pour it into the other container, you're just adding more biomass.
What kind
for
of
alkaline.
establishment do you think this is? People don't piss and poop in a bucket in their room. No, they use the latrine. On each
You ever been
floor.
too drunk?
Speaking of
Sometimes you
which,
can't
I
make
need
it
to
the tree.
go visit that room really quick.
I really need to light something on fire.
Go to the little boy's room.
I think
Okay.
that'd be fair.
Sprinkle some spores into the latrine.
Put it down there.
Have fun, buddy. Wash my hands and leave.
Thank you for washing your hands. You wash your hands and leave. Great. You guys, if nothing else, I guess you guys go to bed, yeah?
No,
No, we're going to do the.
picking up the
Oh,
sour,
you wanna do that before you go
the
to
sour
bed?
sours.
Okay, cool.
Just wanna give as
Yeah,
much time
for the
as
sake of
possible.
time, you easily make it over there. How many of you are going?
I want to go.
We scoped it. Yeah. Probably
I
all
can't
going.
lift up log. I know I'm not going to be able to pick up a keg.
I'm going to make it easy for you. You guys have 4 kegs. 4 of you choose to go.
I'll go.
You go invisible, Log.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, if you're invisible, you can go. Tell me quickly.
I pre-season all 4 kegs.
Okay,
And
you
Conk's
pre-season all
carrying
4
one.
kegs.
I'll ride on somebody's shoulder, warging through Shikar. That
Okay,
way.
as the owl?
Yeah.
Okay. Raise your hand if you're going, so I know. Okay, Argus, Zemdek, Eleazar, and that's it, I guess.
Oh.
Just the 3 of you, but you're going invisible.
Unless you're gonna
But
go.
there's
You can
4
go.
kegs.
I mean, I
It's
can
4
try and help you guys, but
You can lift.
You
a
can
keg.
lift a keg. It's just you take a break every once in a while, but you can lift a keg. Yeah.
I mean, they're not that light.
You know.
Could-
Yeah,
no,
but
they
I
are
mean-
not.
You'll just be going slower as a group together because every once in a while Cole's like,
We can handle
you gotta take a break. Hold on. You know.
I can hang out
Have you ever
with
carried a keg a significant
Yes, I've carried a
distance?
keg. I can pick up a keg and move a keg from the street to the second floor of a.
Conk
of
will
a-
carry
So
yours
the house-
for
I
you
think-
until we get
Yeah, there
there.
we go.
And then he'll hand it
Exactly.
to you.
Exactly. He's a bard. Come on, you can't carry no keg.
Yes, I've done the same
I'm not
thing.
any
but
stronger than like a 10 or 11 strength. I'm not stronger than that. I'm not that strong. Like, and I could lift a keg. I think you could lift a keg. You'll be.
depends on what size
It's
keg
not
you're talking
also,
about.
it's not a metal keg. It's a wooden keg. So
Those are
let's-
actually heavier.
okay.
Let's not
Over
worry
the
about
course
it.
of 2
Let's go.
hours, taking
get it, he
taking
said.
a multitude of breaks because Cole is
Log or
winded.
Conk is carrying the keg.
Conk is carrying the
until
keg
Cole-
for him until we get there, and then he's
Okay.
like, "Here you go."
Okay, cool.
Just before we
every
walk
once
in
in a
there.
while,
It's like when you
Log
try
is like
argue
helping
science
with the
and
weight of the
Noel.
keg while Cole is carrying it, and then just at random moments he'll just let go of it and like, oh, and Cole.
I'll just
like,
grab one with each hand.
all right, fine. Cole, Eleazar, Zemdak is fully not carrying a keg. It's
I'm riding on Conk, yeah.
You're riding on Conk. And Argus is there, Shikar is there, and Log is invisible. So all y'all are there. Hika has like disappeared. Hika left when you guys were doing your thing, trying to go take care of some stuff. They've done their business. They've been paid, so they've just gone off and done their thing. What's up?
And Pernua can hang out with me and Kyron back at the.
Absolutely.
Brian
While you're
and-
Yeah,
Yep.
my child's
deaf, dumb, and
there.
blind, sure.
Cool.
Or
Hold
deaf
down
and
the
blind.
fort.
Sure. You got it.
Make sure you seem kind of normal there, as you're not seeing or hearing.
It's a
Yeah, I
good
mean, you can
thing
be
that
up in
you're
the
deaf
room.
at the moment because Kyron's practicing his oration. So you
Missy
guys,
Powell's just like smiling.
for
and
the
nodding.
sake of time,
Let's go.
You guys
go.
make it there. They see that you're carrying kegs. They think it's a little odd that there's an automaton or like thing there, and they look a little, But that's all they do, and they let you come through. It's just 2 guards, just like 2 of just like the royal the Lord Guard. I can't remember exactly what I called them, but it doesn't matter. You walk in and you are in a large cavern of what looks like people are building things here. People looks like they're building some sort of like stand and some bleachers. There are what looks like some chairs about. It looks like they're getting ready to get this thing going within the next couple of days because the first trial, it's like word is spread that it's happened, right? So it means that the other trials, who knows how long, but aren't far behind. So they're starting to get ready. You do notice there are a couple other people pouring stuff in there, and 2 of them walking out while you're walking in, and just kind of nod to you. There's this big puddle here. Let me just show them what they can see here. There's this big puddle.
That's not where it used to be.
Oops.
Flowed a bit differently.
I'm going to
I
give
bet
you
you
points of-
terrorized your
I'm
sisters.
going to give you-
That'd have been
I'm going to give
I'm
you
not
points
touching
of
you. I'm not
exhaustion.
touching you. I'm not touching you.
Okay, so you guys go in, and it looks like there's these two big old puddles here. And they're not like puddles; they're big. They're like look like big ponds or of like carved out earth, or they've just been there, and you smell the smell of boiling wort and like alcohol and like other stuff like that. It smell like, I don't know if you've smelled that like malt and yeast smell whenever you're brewing beer. It's all over the place here. It is replete, and it's very humid in here from all the steam, and it's it's kind of bubbling and very, very, very light boil. Appears to be like running some sort of geothermal here. You do see what looks like off to the side a very small trickle of what looks like a lava tube that trickles into like the ground below. That seems to be so the blood of the mountain is something here, kind of heating up this area. And people are just pouring stuff in there. So there's three big ponds of this stuff. One is, so you come in from this side here, and one is there's the big one right here that looks to have some darker beer. And there what looks like an island over here where like that's just a bit of some raised stone work here. That just doesn't encompass, and then there's two other ones they kind of look like Kolsch or other light beers of ponds over there. It looks like the people that pour stuff in here kind of as a little joke, just kind of separate it by like, oh, we'll put dark beer in here, we'll put light beers in here, oh, it'll be fun, or ales or whatever. Yep.
So we dump a barrel in each.
So here's the deal: the cavern is put in a way that there's really no room over like on the sides of these. So if you wanted to get to the other way, you see people that have brought their own dinghies to cross to get to the other ones in order to pour them, but they take their dinghies back with them.
You want to go over there? I'll cast control water and part the water.
Okay, how much water can you do that with?
100 feet. 100 feet cube.
100 foot cube?
Yes.
It's the parting of the beer sea.
100 foot cube? That can't be true. And then you could just move all of the water out of the way? No. It's 100 foot cube of like rain. There's no way it just...
No, this is
not a fucking...
You control any freestanding water inside an area you choose that is in the cube up to 100 feet on a side. You can choose from any of the following effects. And I can part water as one of the effects.
This is like Moses parting the sea kind
That's
of
all
spell.
of it. Because it's 20 inches.
Hey, we're gonna win the contest.
Okay. All right, so you part the water. This is a lot deeper than you thought.
Yeah. I wanted to see how,
It goes down pretty deep. It goes down like more than 100 feet.
Okay.
Because it's pretty deep, so it's like there's still some water left or there's still some beer and ale left on the bottom. You could wade through it. I'd say you it'd go up to like your shoulder. It's about like 5 feet.
I'll back out and I'll be like, I just pour it and I'll redirect flow and push it all that way there.
Well, I was gonna say Conk would take the other keg back from Cole, and we'll walk across and.
Conk. Yep, Conk is immune to poison damage, so he
and
doesn't take any damage as he walks across.
We'll dump
it.
one in each here, and then the other two can go in the big pool.
Cool, and he also has a climbing speed, which means he can climb down, walk across, climb back up, dump 2 into each of those ponds, and then he can dump 2. Yeah, he can do that for sure. Fuck. This is gonna be a short trial. I spent hours on this.
Well, we're not in the trial yet.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, you do so. Done. You're done.
So, yeah,
You want me to do something really messed up? You want me to mix it all?
I want to take the tankard I borrowed from the bar, and I want to scoop up some of this beer, and I just want to smell it really quick.
You want to smell it? Please roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
The darker beer.
Yep.
Okay.
This is not magical in any way. No.
No. This is
Purely
just full-
chemical.
Purely chemical.
That's still a 23.
A 23. Okay, so you imagine how much alcohol is in here and how much is put in here. Granted, it's less alcohol, not as boiling off all the time, but it's also concentrated, and all this other stuff has happened to it. Who knows how much bacteria and fungi or all this other stuff is in it. It's not. It's almost to the point where you can get a contact high just from huffing it. So you immediately feel like, oh, and you get this massive migraine for a moment, and you like have to like step back, and you get dizzy, and you're like, whoa. But you are okay for the moment. But that did not feel great. That felt pretty horrible.
This is where the Gutbuster starts its life journey.
So I want to take the second keg that was empty of Gutbuster. It's probably got a little bit of residue, and I want to.
You're gonna get the idea that this is like straight up very strong poison. This is poison.
I want to take that keg and I want to refill it with this beer.
Sure. You'll tell Kong to do it because you can do it.
Nope.
You do so. Here's the deal.
It's like a little 1 gallon.
Can you just do me a favor, roll a stealth check with advantage because you're invisible. And I'm gonna say, tell me how you're trying to sneak this out of here, making it look like it's not a full sloshing keg.
I mean, I was gonna have him reseal it.
I know.
Like take the lid off, scoop it, reseal
Great, but
it.
when you're carrying a container full of liquid, it's
while
sloshing.
this is being filled, I'm gonna start making whirlpools around to distract people.
Okay.
And kind of mix some Onculine in there.
Oh, okay, cool. So you just cast, what is it?
It's a part of control water.
So you cast control water again?
No, every action I can change what I do with it.
You're kidding me.
It's a great
It's a
spell.
4th level spell. I can redirect flow.
Don't know
I
what
can
I'm
create one. I can make it flood.
I feel so defeated.
I mean, it
Okay,
is a
so
fourth level
fine.
spell.
You make whirlpools. You make whirlpools. Some people start to freak out. The guards from the door come in, being like, "What's going on?" Because they're afraid it's like draining, and they'd be like, "Oh shit! This isn't my job. Oh shit! I'm gonna get fired."
We're just making sure it's good and mixed. It's all everything's fine.
Oh, so you admit like you're the guys who are doing that, and they're like, "Stop! What are you doing? Stop!" Like,
okay.
We don't know what this means. Like, what are you doing? Like,
that was 19
It's just
on
mixing the
stuff
old beer
making
with the
it
new beer.
all right, but you don't need to do that. Like, just leave it. Stop. Just pour your beer. Stop tampering with it, and then leave it.
So while everyone's distracted,
Sure. Well, first, Conk does that. Conk can fill it and then just walk out while they're distracted. You're done.
so it does look like there are other teams here, like getting stuff staged, getting ready. anything
Some
that,
people
or-
like building stands and balconies.
but
and
nothing like team specific or.
No.
Is there anyone out on
Teams
any
are
dinghy?
technically teams are not allowed here before the thing, but you don't look like you belong to a clan, and you look like you're just a bunch of people who were hired via TaskRabbit for an odd job to pour some.
Well, that's
stuff
basically
in.
what Cole was planning on doing. He was basically going, but the guy just promised us drinks if we'd bring it here.
Yeah. So that's guys don't look like you're from a clan.
He told us
we
to
looked a
mix
little
it.
weird when I
You don't see
part
any other
all the
teams here, no.
water.
You don't even see like these actually aren't here. 'Cause the sponsors aren't there. Yeah.
Because I was trying to find something I could sabotage, but
I mean, I could flood and make that little island disappear.
There are like 2 boulders that stick out of the lighter,
That's a lot of options.
lighter beer,
I
the
know.
lighter ale
I
over there.
could.
They look rather steep, however, and it's like doesn't look like you could possibly scramble on top of them, but it would be difficult.
I can make the water rise up to 20 feet.
Whereas this is more of just like, oh, it's a little island. It's kind of
Yeah.
there.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Think
nothing,
of all
nothing
the
to
fires
sabotage
that will
that.
be put.
Anything else then?
There's a lot of dangerous things. I can
Shakar
do
will
with
look
this.
around for the drunken eels within the parted waves.
I love how you made that a thing. Go ahead, roll a perception check at advantage. I
Was
guess.
anyone out there on a dinghy?
Anyone out there? Oh, actually,
That got flooded.
no.
Kill somebody?
No.
No, because
Okay,
the people were walking out as you were,
Okay.
you were walking in, they were pouring it, and then they walked out. Like
Okay,
that.
because I was just going to redirect the flow, not let them move.
You're lucky. Okay,
I'm just testing what abilities we
get?
can use in this situation.
17.
17.
Yeah.
You don't see anything.
Oh,
You don't see any creatures here.
darn.
You see. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
So looking forward to drunken eels.
I could try to pour more water and see if we can find them.
I mean,
Stop what you're doing, please,
All right.
just
and leave.
just to make sure you're not like the casks of Gutbuster, the small little like 1 gallons that I got.
Yeah.
That's what he refilled because I had an empty one.
Oh, you didn't use one of the ones that you poured out?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the little guy
Okay.
refilled it and I put it back in the bag of holding.
I got it. I understand.
And I was creating enough of a distraction that no one was paying attention to you.
Okay. So you have a
Refilled.
bucket of ale poison.
Yes. I have 2 of those because I still have a Gutbuster.
That's what he said. He just refilled his bucket of Gutbuster.
I'm really lucky I'm not chaotic. There's a lot of crazy things.
Because I remember those exact words that you said to me when I drink it. Yeah, you're drinking pure poison.
Yeah.
This is.
What
if this is canonically
or what this
What
no.
do they get? This is where they get their.
That's actually what when you described it. I went, oh, so this is where
I'm
Gutbuster
just like,
starts
I
its
think,
life cycle.
I think this is actually where they get their gut buster.
Yeah.
Someone just comes in, like steals a keg, and walks away, going, "We got the gut buster." That would be amazing.
That's where I actually thought. That's what I
Could be
thought. They
imported
had
from
They
it.
water it down just a little bit
Yeah.
so that it's a little
So it
more
doesn't fully
survivable.
kill you? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. You guys done here?
Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah.
They ask you to leave many times. They're like, "Stop what you're doing and leave."
Do they have any loose hanging?
I only have 10
valuables?
minutes.
Loose hanging valuables.
There was
They're
nothing on the
guards
floor,
who get
right?
paid like 1 gold a month.
Question still stands.
No.
Logs a bugbear who raids.
No,
random
they don't.
places.
They have the
Answer is no.
armor they're wearing and their weapons, which is probably the most expensive thing that's on them.
Log, take
While
that
they're
weapon.
wearing it, yeah, fully Skyrim then.
So I think this spell's a good one for me to have tomorrow. Or when we do the trial.
Log,
I watched a
log,
video.
Take their weapon.
I watched a video the other day. And, it was either Oblivion or Skyrim, but
If you have their
some
weapon, then it doesn't matter.
some of the enemies actually like have
The
instead of their
Briar
heart-
Hearts.
have the Briar Hearts.
Yeah, if you go up and I've done it. I've actually done it after I
Let
saw
me
it.
tell
You
the
can sneak
story.
up, It's
Raiders
awesome.
just kicked the field goal.
Goodness. Yes, if you sneak up to them and steal the Briar Heart out of their inventory, they just die.
Yeah, because it's
Because
their
you take
actual
their heart out
heart.
of
You're
their
taking
chest.
their actual heart out.
They
when
just
you steal it.
ragdoll. It's amazing. Okay, cool. Great. You done
You gotta
here?
have insanely
Are you
good
done
stuff.
here? Yep. Okay, cool. You leave. You go back to the hotel.
I want to talk to the bucket.
You want to talk to the bucket?
Mr. Bucket. So out of my mouth. Mr. Bucket.
Oh God!
You like whack it and
Curdle your nose hairs a little bit.
yeah,
Out
sure.
of my mouth.
I mean, you breathe. It's not smell good.
I stand way away.
I mean,
All right.
were you able to survive in there? Did you meet some new friends?
That helped me deal with not needing to burn something.
This is a sensation that I'm not used to.
Is it the heat or is it the alcohol content?
I am still processing this emotional feeling. I feel.
Did we get Ankyline drunk?
I think we did.
It's what he wanted.
There are so many friends.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
They are loud.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They like to party.
So we found Ankeline's version of a bar. We dropped him in a club for the first time.
I love it. I love that he's basically an introvert that we just dropped into the middle of a club.
Full like Metallica concert.
The middle of a mosh pit.
Opener,
Yes.
like,
I mixed him around in there too.
You gonna be?
This will take some getting used to. I will do my best to proliferate as
That's
quickly
fine.
as possible.
You getting any good new reagents in there?
There are so many things.
Good.
I feel.
Any eels?
I feel foreign objects.
Hopefully not in any orifices.
Like other than your new friends?
Moving things.
Oh, there must be a dinghy on the boat now. On the lake.
Underneath?
In me.
That's not good. Sabotage.
I don't want to go in them without consent.
That's fair.
But they are breathing me.
Well,
Oh.
that was their choice.
I will do my best to prevent myself from invading their cortex.
They breathed you in. That was their choice.
You're horrible.
So, guys, there are things living in there?
Yeah, we heard about the drunken eels. I thought.
No. I mean, like,
Drunken eels.
things that we may need to be weary of.
Yeah, drunken
Have
eels.
eel minis.
Did you have your bag?
Excuse me.
This is why I know you're never going to
do a quick
done
print drop.
printing.
Otherwise, we're good to go. I'll see you later, Ankyline.
Goodbye, friend. I am starting to understand concept of friendship when I'm surrounded by so many beings. It is difficult not to camaraderie.
Those aren't verbs, but you're getting close.
Okay, goodbye. I am busy.
I am camaraderieing.
It's very much like somebody who's getting drunk for the first time and searching for words.
Can't imagine.
All right.
Am I still invisible?
You're on like tail end because it probably
But you didn't.
because it took you 2 hours to get there.
Out of the thing.
I think because Cole was a mess. But I'd say it'd take you like 50 minutes to
Sounds
get
like a
back.
regular
You're like,
day for Cole.
what do you want? What do you want to do? Wow, what do you want to do?
I just want to go behind the bar, grab a bottle of the good stuff, and go upstairs.
Oh, God, I hate you. Roll a stealth check it,
Because we don't do anything weird.
or I guess a sleight of hand check at advantage.
That's the least weird thing Log's ever done, and you hate him for it.
I really could have waited
It's
for
just
control water
always,
for when we were actually
all the
going to do it.
time.
At least not let TJ prepare for my control water spell.
Let's go get another 19.
There's not any.
Technically, it's not water, but what does it say? Does it say it has to be water or?
Yeah. Freestanding water.
Let me see. 'cause
That's
this-
why I wanted to use it to see if it worked.
Yeah.
That was
Let me
really
see.
the whole reason.
That beer is mostly water.
Yeah, it is mostly.
It
so
is.
would you just leave behind the trube
like-
on the bottom, like somewhere as you're moving things around, you know?
The fuck?
No, I mean, that was my true purpose, was to see if the spell worked. And what it could do, because I never used it before.
And it was fun.
I loved his reaction to it. You using it too.
So,
He broke his encounter.
Pretty much.
let's see what this person says. Dice are fast.
Do Holland with breaking his minis too, because we keep insisting on the drunken eels.
A lot of DMs are saying it has to be reasonably called water. It has to be like
It's your choice.
Yeah, you're-
So how
really
much of
your
the
choice.
concentration is not?
It doesn't work on blood. It doesn't work on sewage. It doesn't work on muck or sludge.
Well, the viscosity is.
Of those are different.
Yeah, it is. Here's what I'll say. I'll say that I don't care what just happened. Well, I'll say that it'll work, but nowhere near as effective as what the spell says. I'd say it would work to 20% of the effectiveness of the fact that it works at all is a gift. So
Outside of combat, it still kind of works.
And like I
in
said, my
combat,
whole
it's
point
probably
was
going
just
to
to see
be.
if it works. That's why I cast
yeah,
it.
I would say like outside of combat it worked because you like what's the duration of it?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yes, you probably used like a whole 2 minutes to make that part water because you were like.
Okay.
And like because it's difficult because it's not all water. But if you're trying to use it in combat, okay, goodness gracious, these are all fucking children. But I'd say in combat you would get like 20% of the effectiveness because it's so a fifth of 20 is 4. You get that much.
So a 20 foot cube.
20-foot cube.
We're just pretty good.
Okay.
Because you had to it asked for 10 minutes, so you were probably like pulling, and then finally did what you needed to do.
So then they were little tiny whirlpools.
Yeah, little.
Then,
Enough to make it bleed.
it's
Like
not-
there were little ones that are starting to get bigger and bigger, and it started to look like they were draining, so people were panicking, being like, "Oh no." Okay, cool. Nothing else. What did you get?
9. Actually, got the exact same roll on both die again, so 19.
19. Yeah, you grabbed some fucking good wine. Well, let's be clear. He doesn't have like good wine. You grabbed the best wine he has.
Well, is there no hard alcohol, or is there?
Yeah, I thought
There's hard alcohol.
Spirits.
I thought
Yeah,
the
there's
fire
spirits.
toe whiskey was the good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Do you want to grab
whiskey.
some Fire Toe whiskey, or do you want to grab
Are
some?
there, did he put toes in them just because I told him to, or not yet?
No, there's toe in him.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, there's toe in it.
Is he limping when
This
he walks
redirector
around?
doesn't work.
No, it's not his toe. You don't know where he got that toe.
It's floating in alcohol. He'll be fine.
Disinfected.
It's disinfected. Okay, you guys go upstairs to go to bed?
I would like to work on the PP for a little bit. Thank you.
Enhance ability.
No context.
Okay.
We can do that during the break.
Yeah.
Enhancing her ability to work on
Oh,
the
you didn't
PP.
understand my joke. That's okay.
I got it. Just nobody laughed.
Okay. All right. So
I could have said my enhance ability is to help.
I apologize deeply. So
You can only even make that because
you want to work on for an hour?
Does that
like
mean
you
my
guys-
enhance ability is a fluffer?
It's like late evening. You guys tired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog, come here.
Is it? He's gonna take. How long is it gonna take?
I mean,
Don't
it's
burn
just
the
a
place down.
Work, making check
Okay,
marks.
roll for it. Quickly. You do my intellect fortress, all that yada yada.
Yeah, that's why I just did it real quick and moved
Thank you.
on.
It's
Okay.
gonna be an at one, so thank you.
Enhance ability. That's what it's for.
And then just been doing Arcana, or have we been doing for this Arcana, or just spell casting?
I believe it's a spellcasting check.
Okay,
If
19.
I'm not mistaken. 19. That's a success. You get another success.
Okay, great.
All right.
Do you have a little bit more magic to just to make it?
You want some
nice and
daylight?
simple? Yes, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
My room lights up brightly as we're.
I have to impose my will at this point and say that you have to go to bed now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, no, I mean that was
All right.
like
You go to
It's her
bed.
nightlight.
Log, do your
Yeah.
thing.
It's actually not concentration. So
Easy enough. Pernua and Conk stay on guard. It's a big deal.
21.
And the familiars.
And the familiars.
it lasts an hour.
21.
It's not concentration. Here's your nightlight.
Okay. Where are you? Why you're not
You
open?
haven't gone to go find a tanner for your whip yet, right?
No, we have not.
You got 10 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I can cast it again.
Yeah.
It's a ritual spell that I always have prepared.
Which with us is probably a good thing.
Well,
What was the number? I'm sorry.
21.
I'm almost coming to like, because of my whole soul situation,
Um,
having some of those spells automatically prepared is probably a thing I'll have the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It'll just be,
Okay.
That's somebody who goes on regular.
You have a dream. You have a pretty good dream. You're just you are back in like your home in the hills and the red rocks and everything, and you find your way to like the Dakota Veldt a little bit as you're walking through the fields of like that whole gladiator scene where you let your hands waft through the fields of grain on the fields of Sting starts singing. You feel good and everything, and you find that you have like a shepherd's stick in your hand, and you're actually leading a couple like husbandry, a couple like lambs and goats about to graze, and y'all all wake up the next morning, and there's a lamb in your room, and it's looking right at you, Lon. It goes, "Ah," and that's where we're gonna take our break. We'll be back in a little bit. Thank you guys, and stay safe out there.